Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Drachmae and Demigods. I am Sammy Ferber and I'll be your host for the evening. Welcome to a new era, a new age of the Links of Tartarus campaign. You may notice that our background has changed slightly as well. To reflect this, we are back from the Underworld and we are back to the world of the living, but it's not quite the world they left. So if this is your first time, welcome to Drachmae and Demigods. If it is not your first time, welcome back. If you've missed any of our episodes in Season 2 or Season 1, you can find all of our episodes on our YouTube channel for your perusal whenever you would like, including this one. This Saturday will be up on YouTube. But enough of that shite. Let's get into the story, because I'm so excited to get into the story here, get into this next phase of the campaign. So, previously, on the Links of Tartarus, the Hands of Fate had taken part in an ancient ritual organized by Archmage Nicolas Kinai, designed to utilize the celestial blood in demigods to contact their godly parents in an extremely intimate way. But the ritual was a trap. Kinai knew that the easiest way to kill a god would be to kill them while they're stuck in a mortal's body. And that's exactly what he did. A battle ensued, gods and mortals fought side by side, and by the end of it, both Apollo, the Eternal Dawn, and Hephaestus, the Everforge, were dead. Athena and Poseidon managed to escape, however, and gained the knowledge of the Hooded Mute's identity, revealing her to be none other than Persephone. When the party last saw Kinai, Persephone had him restrained in thorny vines, seemingly furious that he had acted in such a way without permission. After the battle, the party killed themselves in order to head down to the Underworld in an attempt to both save the soul of Anura, who had fallen in the fight, and potentially save Hades, who had been unreachable for months. They managed to achieve both of their goals, and even picked up their old party member Lathos along the way. Hades was so grateful for their service that not only did he give them an IOU for a favor they could call in, but he also granted them an even rarer gift, the chance to leave the Underworld and go back to their bodies in the Overworld. And when we left our heroes, that's exactly what they had done. But time doesn't quite work the same way in the Underworld as it does in the Overworld. And the party found themselves split across time as they returned. The first to pop back into the Overworld was Anura. They awoke in their own tomb, a marble tomb they shared with the rest of the party, and burst out to find themselves in a world of darkness. The red moon of Artemis hung in the sky, bathing everything in a crimson light. And as they turned, Anura saw a foreign symbol graffitied onto the door of their tomb, a burning sun made up of about a dozen or so hands reaching inward to grab a central ring. So, as we come into this moment, Anura, a couple things. First of all, you now coming down a bit from the immediate adrenaline of coming back to your body, you can feel the lethargy in your bones. Your body previously was just dead nothingness, and now suddenly is infused with life once again. So you can feel that lethargy, you can feel that tiredness. You are at a -4 to everything right now.
Have I got any levels of exhaustion?
No exhaustion, you're just at -4 of everything. I will also say, because this is what you would be taking in this moment, you can see on the side of the tomb where that graffiti mark is, there is writing engraved in the marble. It says, "Here lies the hands of fate. Adagio, son of Apollo, Ilme, daughter of Hermes, Alexios, son of Hephaestus, Ryujin, son of Poseidon, and Anura Gravitis, dragon slayers, saviors of the city on the day of endless light, heroes of Delphi, slain on the night of the red moon. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten." And it's on that last part where the graffiti is covering it. What would you like to do?
Where in Delphi is the tomb, like the cemetery and tomb stuff at compared to the rest of the city?
It's like a corner of the High Noon district. It's close to the outer wall, in like the far southwest corner of the city.
How close am I to the temples or to
You
Lilio's tavern?
you would know you're definitely closer to the temples than to Lilio's tavern. You would know that if you were to navigate your way out of the cemetery, you would find yourself basically at the Temple of Hades, and then once you're at the Temple of Hades, you're essentially at the rest of the temples as well as Sunbrow Manor.
Okay. I would like to do that.
Okay, it's not hard to navigate, although the world feels different and everything is bathed in this uncomfortable red light. The graveyard is still a graveyard, and it's still a graveyard that you've seen before, so it's not hard to find your way to the main gates of this graveyard, and you find yourself in the once familiar central courtyard of the High Noon district.
Okay. I want to go to the Temple of Artemis as quickly as I can.
Okay? As you walk through the streets, you don't see the hustle and bustle that you would expect in the middle of the day, but you also don't see the absolute silence that you would expect in the middle of the night. You're not quite sure what time it is. Everything is a bit screwed up. But you do see a few people who are just sort of scurrying from place to place, heads down. Very much, it's a very non-Delphi feel from these people. It definitely feels like anyone who's out on the streets is out to accomplish a goal and get back home as soon as possible. You make your way to the Temple of Artemis, a very familiar temple to you. You open the door in, and immediately you feel at home once more. You see the trees in here, the sort of natural world brought into the world of man here. You don't see the huntress that you normally are used to seeing here in this temple, but there are some minor acolytes and minor priests here that are just sort of keeping everything in order.
Can I immediately go up to one of them and ask where it was Sinaveth was her name, right?
That's correct.
Can I go up to one of them, where's Huntress Sinaveth?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen her. Have you seen the Huntress anytime soon? You see another woman who's like placing some candles. So she goes, "Honey, I don't even know what soon is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." Everyone seems very stressed.
Where does she live within the city?
I mean, she usually sleeps here. I don't know if she has another home.
Has she been sleeping here? Has anyone checked?
I mean, she's not here now.
Is there like a separate room that she normally sleeps in or anything like that?
Yeah, there's some private quarters downstairs.
Did you check those?
Yeah, of course. She's not here. Like, can I help you with something? Do you need someone to pray with? We can do that. You don't need the Huntress for that.
It's a very, very, very long story. My name is Anura, as in the one from the Hands of Fate.
Right.
Lots of things happened. Sinabeth had tried to bring me back. The rest of the party came to get me back. Long story short, I need to talk to her. I need to know how long we've been gone.
The Huntress turns to the other one nearby and she goes, "Would you mind grabbing one of the 100 hands? Just would you mind grabbing one of them?"
What is the 100 hands?
Of course, I'll be right back. And she leaves. She goes, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just times have changed since you've been dead."
What do you mean times have changed?
You hear the Huntress returns with two male figures. At first, you think they're Delphi guards. They're dressed similarly. They have the plume and the armor and the shield, blah blah blah. But you do notice that over the sigil of Delphi on the shield is graffitied that same symbol that you saw graffitied on your tomb. What seems to be the problem here?
I need to know how much time has passed since I originally died.
You want us to believe you're actually the Anura from the Hands of Fate? Is that what you're going with?
I'm gonna pull out underbrush immediately and then show them the mark on my arm, as well as why can't I find my mouse? I lost my mouse on my computer screen. Oh god. What is the... Didn't they give us something whenever we...
What?
The Black Hand Twins gave us each something, right?
What?
The Black Hand Twins are the ones who gave us gave me the breastplate, right?
Yeah, I got the trident. You got...
Yeah, that's who gave it to us, right?
Yeah.
We also have the dragon tooth necklaces,
Yeah.
just in case.
Oh yeah, the dragon tooth necklaces. I'm gonna pull up the dragon tooth necklace that I'm wearing and look at them and just look. It has been a really, really long day. Or multiple days. I actually don't know how many because you won't fucking tell me.
The
But
guard.
I need an answer.
The guard steps forward and looks at you. He goes. He looks to his friend. Do you have anything that can see through illusions and shit? So, I don't have that shit. All right. Well, only one way to find out if you're telling the truth. Let's take it to the Platinum Owl. And they grab you by the shoulder. Are you gonna do anything?
I'm going to shrug out of that and go, I'll follow you, but you're not leading me like that.
All right.
I've been confined in a tomb this whole time.
I'm
You're
sure
not
you
leading me.
have. Tell you what, I'll lead, and my friend here will take up the rear. All right, you'll be right in the center. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Wonderful.
But touch me, and I do not care. I will unleash hell on you, because I've been to hell and back.
Of course. He looks to his friend and goes, illusions often don't stand up to physical inspection. Let's go. Let's do what they say. And they lead you out of the temple. And they lead you on a familiar path to a familiar building. You see before you Sunbrow Manor with
God, do it.
a flag that has descended over the front door with this symbol, the sun made up of hands. You see two more guards standing at the door, and you see, while these two looked like they were Delphi guards that have since sort of been rebranded, the two at the door don't look like Delphi guards. They are armed, and they have shields and that sort of thing, but you get the sense, just from comparing these two to the two that you see at the door, that whatever this group is, they're not, organized. They don't have a uniform. You see the symbol of this group somewhere on each of these people. These two have it on their shields, but the two at the door, one has a pin, one has it just sort of colored in on a pocket on his shirt. It's very rough and tumble. But the two guards at the door allow the guards and you to pass.
Do I see any of our staff?
As you make your way in, you don't. But you do see there is a flurry of activity going around here, and it's bizarre being escorted into your own home and having it be unrecognizable. The walls are still the same, they haven't torn down anything like that, but there's a bunch of people in here that you do not know, you do not recognize, you don't see any familiar faces. It seems to be some sort of central, it almost more closely resembles a barracks than a home at this point.
Once we're in,
Yeah.
can I don't remember what room it was in, but there was supposed to be a zone of truth being cast.
Yes,
What room was it in?
it's in the war room.
There was supposed to be a zone of truth being cast in the war room. Can you take me to that to prove it?
If the Platinum Owl wants you to be there, then sure. But for that, you have an audience. And they actually
cast
lead you...
Moonbeam and prove it.
They lead you
Walk through it.
to the dining room. The large dining chamber. At least what you remember as the dining room. But as they open the doors to this room, it is a completely different room. It is more in line with, like, a throne room. You see there are people sort of lining the walls, and at the far end, the far wall, it's not a throne. It is a fancy chair that is barely elevated. But it certainly commands a sort of power. And you can feel the length of this room as you come in, and all conversations sort of stop as you enter. And you see sitting on this throne is a woman. Or at least you think it's a woman. It's a feminine form, with white robes that sort of show off a feminine figure. But her face is completely covered. And you see, instead of a face, you see a pure mask made of pure platinum in the shape of a barn owl. So it's almost blank, expressionless, but it is slightly intimidating in its blankness, as if there's no way for you to read the expression of the person underneath it.
Does it remind me of the mask that Korra had?
It's definitely not the mask Korra had.
Okay.
You know that traditionally owler masks are made out of copper, so this is definitely not that.
Well, I mean, like, does the design, like, besides it being
not
platinum?
really.
Okay.
I mean, in the sense that it's an owl, but that's sort of where the similarities stop.
Okay.
You see at this woman's side, in a hilt, in a sheath, is a beautiful sword that is sheathed, but as she's sitting on this throne, her hand is just sort of like loosely resting on the hilt. Not threatening, but aware of its presence. And the guards get you center of the room as silence takes over. Your Grace, we have here someone who is claiming to be Anura of the Hands of Fate. The Platinum Owl just sort of stares and gestures with her hand as if to say, "Do you have anything to say?"
What have you done to our home? This is one of the only places I've been able to call home in a long time. What did you do?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I'm at a -4.
That's correct.
That's a full -4 for persuasion for me.
Are you normally a +0?
Yes. Okay, I rolled a 20, but it doesn't matter. It's 16.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
I'm telling the truth. Why is it a persuasion check?
To see if she believes you. You see she takes a moment with seemingly no reaction. And then she stands, still staring at you. Everyone leave this room. You, she looks at one of the guards on the side. Fetch the expert. Everyone slowly disperses.
What do you want me to do? Do you think I'm still an illusion? I'll cast Moonbeam and step into it. That would get rid of an illusion if I was wearing one.
That's quite alright. We have an expert.
I just need to know how long I've been dead.
If you are who you say you are, all in good time. Everyone leaves, including the 2 guards that were holding you.
Can I sit, please?
If you want to sit on the floor,
I'm perfectly fine with that. I've literally been to hell and back. I'm so tired.
by all means.
I want to sit down and take out the figurine of Huntress Alexandra and then the connection to Artemis that I have and just kind of hold both of them for a little bit while I'm waiting.
Okay.
Are you okay if I cast Commune?
You will not
with
cast
somebody?
anything at the moment, please.
Just want to speak with my.
It will
older
only
adopted
take a
mother.
moment, please. One of the guards returns, holding a chain, with something coming behind him on this chain. We have the expert. Wonderful. You may go. The man nods, drops the chain, and leaves. And you see the chain twitches and moves, and there's a flash of something metal coming directly at you before you are bowled over as you were already seated. You find yourself pinned to the ground as you see this familiar metallic dragon dog come on top of you.
Forge! Buddy! What are you doing, Forge?
The platinum owl removes her mask, and you see Cora. I cannot believe it's actually you. Oh my lord.
Forge, did you really not believe it was me when
No,
I pulled out
you have to understand. There have been so many imposters, so many people trying to get in, so many people trying to assassinate us, or worse, or figure out what our plans are. She comes and embraces you.
Okay, I'm gonna immediately hug her back. Okay, I will give you a hug right now, but I'm gonna need some time to get used to physical touch again. Things are weird.
Of course. Whatever you need. It's so great to see you. Where's everyone else?
That's a really good question. Can we sit down? Because I did say I've been to hell and back, and I really do kind of feel it now.
Yeah, she just sits on the ground next to you.
Okay. Can you give me one moment to cast Commune and ask Artemis a few questions?
You can certainly try. The gods are not quite as present as they once were.
I'm not surprised in the slightest, considering when I talked to her before I went to the Underworld, things were not good. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna try. It is what it is if she doesn't answer.
Alright, you cast Commune. You are immediately hit with a rage that is not your own. A rage and a grief and a sorrow. But you do feel the presence of Artemis if you would like to ask a question.
Okay, well, can I say something that's not a question, just like a comforting thing that she could answer yes or no to if she needs to count it as a question?
It's up to you.
Okay. I'm still getting used to calling you Mom, but Mom, I know things suck right now. There's a way to get him back, but the rest of the party has to get back first. I need you to trust me. Do you trust me that we will get him back for you? Whatever it takes.
You feel, not so much words, just sensations of hope, of apprehension, of doubt, of protection. That is one of your questions.
Okay. If you can, come to me. I will explain everything, but I know if you can't, you can't. I'm probably going to go back to the forest tonight if that helps. But second question. Can you feel a connection to Hades now that we freed him from his prison?
You do feel another surge of hope.
Okay, good. Do you have any idea where Persephone is now that she has come back from the Underworld?
Rage anew.
It's not her. She's being manipulated.
Rage.
It's Hecate.
Rage.
I know if you can't say anymore, but I just needed to let you know. I promise you, on everything that I hold dear now, which is a lot more than it used to be, we will get him back.
Rage.
I
And
love
the
you,
spell.
and I'll close the connection.
The spell fades.
Okay. She at least answered. That's a lot of rage. Time is weird in the underworld. So, first question before we get into everything, how long have I been dead?
A bit of a difficult question to answer. We rely entirely on stages of keen mind to let us know how much time is passing. The sun does not rise, the moon does not move. But, if I were to hazard a guess, roughly 6 months.
Holy shit. Okay, well, time works differently in the underworld. Hades said he was sending us all back. So I'm trusting he's sending us all back, and that I just am the first one to come back for some reason.
I can only hope. Anora,
What's happening?
a lot has changed since you've been gone. You have to understand, the world you left is not quite the world that exists anymore.
I would assume so.
When that ritual happened, the sun never shone again. It never rose the next day, or the next, or the next. We all, as a country, as a world, woke up to a red moon, nothing else.
I'm assuming you know what happened, correct?
You told me what happened. Well, your friends did.
And it definitely wasn't me.
Right. In the absence of the sun, people turned to the flame for warmth and for light. But while flames still exist, the warmth
not the same.
they give is not quite what it once was. And then, well, Demeter decided that she would cause another winter. Whether that was because she was enraged at the accusation of her daughter, or if she was lamenting her daughter being such an evil creature, no one knows quite why. But we lost the sun, we lost the flame, and then we lost every crop on Gaia all at once. The soil has been poisoned, nothing can grow. In the face of that, society sort of broke down. So, while cities still exist and governments still exist of a sense, it's a bit of an every man for himself type situation. Except for us. We are one of, I think, the largest collections of people in Gaia currently. Welcome to the Society of the 100 Hands.
Real quick, can I look around? Is Forge still in the room?
Forge is right next to you. He has not left your side.
Can I, open my arm up so, Forge can, lay his head over on my lap, kind of?
For sure. Yeah, he's happy to do so.
Okay. Sorry, I just need something familiar.
It's a real, service animal situation right now.
Like
Yeah.
this is my life like currently.
Yeah. And it's really just you, a dragon dog in your lap, and Cora just sitting here in an empty room together. Because, in the aftermath of all of that, the eyes of Gaia have sort of come out of the shadows, and they are in charge of a fair amount of larger communities and cities currently. Essentially, the strong have essentially taken over the world. Besides us, we are a bit of an organization. We're more of an idea. The idea that this is not going to last forever, that things will get better, that the sun will return, that the flame will return, that crops will be able to grow once more, and that it's our duty, in the meantime, to protect the innocent, protect the weak, and help where we can, and fight where we need to. It's spread a bit, that ideology. We've sort of become a bit of a symbol. To the point where I don't even know if I know all of the people in this organization. People can just sort of claim to be part of us if they agree with our mentality. But you were dead at this point, so you don't know. But your friends tasked me with their mission. They told me of the location of the remaining links, and they tasked me to do my best to find them, to contain them, all of that. So while I have been helping to organize the 100 Hands, I've also been working on that, collecting allies, finding links. And we've had some success. In both regards, actually. And we work a lot with the providers, which, if we are half disjointed and not even really an organization, the providers are really even less organized than we are. But the Predators are sort of a loose amalgamation of druids and wizards and that sort of thing, who go around providing magical means of sustenance and water and magical fire, good berries and other things like that.
I'm gonna reach out and grab onto her hands real quick because I just be like, slow down. This is a lot.
Sorry, yes, it is. And I haven't even gotten to the good stuff.
Okay. Real quick, to take a break from me getting a lot of new information.
Sure.
So I don't fully overload. You were talking about the idea of this group is that we will get back the flame and the sun.
Yes.
And the crops. I can't make any guarantees on the crops. But I can tell you, if anyone can talk to Demeter and let her and just express it to her, Persephone is not the one behind this. She's being manipulated by someone older than the gods themselves.
Well, that's actually extremely good information to know, and we might be able to very quickly get that information to Demeter.
I just so you know, Hecate is the one manipulating her.
Oh.
Yeah, makes it a little more, bit of a problem.
I'll say so. There are a few friends that I was about to introduce you to, but now I'm a bit unsure.
We can work through whatever it is. I promise you that. If I can work with a Ruxal after he tried to kill me, I can work with anybody.
Well, I have two of my people, two of our allies, that are at Shauna's shop right now.
Okay.
They have a group of providers with them. They're planning, I think, tomorrow to begin a new trek to a new city to help provide.
Okay, well, let me finish getting this information out real quick while we're on the subject. We know of a way to get back Hephaestus, and once we get back Hephaestus, he will know a way to get back Apollo.
Wonderful.
But that is reliant upon the Hands of Fate being able to come together again once everybody is back.
Okay, I can help with that.
Everybody will be back. And I'm assuming, has anybody who's said that they were us tried to show you like the dragon tooth necklaces or anything like that?
Only people who had already spent time in Delphi and knew that they were in your possession.
Besides that, every single one of us will have a magic item that has been made by the Black Hand Twins.
Alright, that'll help.
That will be another way to identify us a lot more quickly.
Might I ask a question?
Yes.
Did you come out of your tomb?
Yeah, I kind of broke my way out of my tomb.
Alright, well, I mean, in that case, I could put a man on that tomb at all
That would
times.
be smart. I did kind of break Ryujin's tomb open because I was like, where is everybody? Do they need help? So that would be smart.
Grand. Great. Well, I can get that done.
That would be great. Yeah, I broke my way out. I'm sorry. It was really pretty for what I could tell, but I broke my way out.
That's totally fine. I can help with the communication. No matter where you are, I can make sure that you know if and when your friends arrive.
Okay. The other big thing, Hades has been freed.
Well, that's good to know.
But I do not know how things are going to go right now because he's been through a lot in general.
All right.
Persephone imprisoned him, of course. But she fully has broken any trust he had in her.
All right.
Yeah, not good.
Not good. But the fact that you're here is a step in the right direction.
Yes, but Cora, have you heard, after seeing the symbol and everything else, do you know the Oracle's first prophecy?
I mean, I know of it.
Do you know what it contains, anything like that?
Not particularly.
It's basically that a child of each of the Olympians everyone will come, like a group of them will come together and their decisions will lead to if Olympus rises or falls.
Well, I've made a fair amount of allies since you've been gone. But I don't. We're not at that stage. I don't have representation from every type of demigod. I don't have anyone who is a child of Hera or a child of Hades. But beyond that, I actually have almost everyone else.
I mean, you definitely don't have one for Hera, but we all know one exists.
That's true.
We're about to have one from Hades come back from the Underworld. I can tell you that now.
Oh.
He was originally traveling with us at one point. He's coming back.
Okay, then.
But I need you to make a promise.
We're gonna take a brief intermission as I problem solve here. Sorry folks, but it probably won't be our full intermission. It's just gonna be until I get this fixed, so I apologize. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. We're back. Sorry. No music for the rest of the show, and hopefully that works. Sorry. Anura, what were you saying?
Cora, I need you to make me a promise. And then I'm going to explain the whole thing about me being the child of Artemis.
Sure.
If it comes down to it, and a decision has to be made, and everybody's not on the same page to save the gods, I don't care what you have to do. You can stab me in the back. If it postpones the prophecy even for a little bit, do it.
If that is what you want, then of course I shall, but I don't know the exact specifications of this prophecy, but if we have the ability to save the gods, we should, right?
Yes, if it's looking like we're going to be able to save the gods and whatever happens, yes. But if it looks like it's going the other way, just is that a postponed prophecy if possible?
I understand. Okay. That's a lot of info. I have even more for you.
Oh my god. Can I take a nap first?
If you'd like.
I literally feel like I'm going to fall over at any given moment, so we can keep going, but if I fall over, just let me sleep.
That's totally fine. So two allies who are in Delphi right now, who are about to leave on a provider's journey. I think they're heading to Giant Spain. Um, Two that you're going to want to talk to. Uh, One is Vanix. They are a child of Demeter, so definitely someone to talk to if you want a quick word with Demeter. But their traveling companion, who I'm just going to say right now, is a wonderful person and a valued member of our team. His name is Tekalis. He is a son of Hecate.
This is going to be an interesting conversation to
But he
have.
he is not he's not a magic user. He's not an arcane magic user. He has no strong connection to his mother. So just letting you know so you're not surprised.
Yeah, this is just going to be listen, as I said, if I could work with a Ruxall, I can work with anybody.
Right. Um, but even more importantly, I feel like I should give you an update on the status of the links of Tartarus.
Yes.
Forge, would you mind spitting up a bit? Forge sits
Is
and
he about to spit up a link of Tartarus?
something does come out. It's not a link of Tartarus. It looks like a necklace, and where like a jewel or something or a charm or whatever would be on this necklace is a small chest.
Forge, what? Forge, I love you. Just let me know. But just, I need to say that. I love you.
Desperate times. Um, what I'm showing you right now is very inner circle. Not many people know about this. It is really just those of us that you trusted.
I mean, if it's not the links, I would hope so.
She opens this little mini chest, and there's like a puff of arcane energy, and you see this long, full-size chest erupt out of this mini chest until poof, between you and Cora is this long wooden crate. And she sort of
Jesus
closes
Christ.
the chest and the necklace.
I love that. I want one.
We have taken every precaution. Um, this bit was actually your friend Arcanist Ayla Zinafodel's suggestion. So she takes a key out of her own pocket and unlocks this crate and opens it up. And you're not sure what you're expecting. Maybe Links of Tartarus, but it's not. You see this long staff that's sort of crackling with arcane energy. And Cora takes it out of the chest. Goes, I'm sorry, but you might need to stand for this.
I'm scared,
It's all right.
but okay.
It won't hurt. It's just a precaution.
Okay, the last person told me it won't hurt when I was alive. Well, the last person told us in general was Kenai, and he killed us,
That's all right. Kenai's
basically.
fucking dead as hell.
He is good.
He
Good.
died the night you died.
Good.
He was ripped to shreds.
Good.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Can I stand up and like lean against Forge for
Yeah.
support?
She grasps the staff with both hands and slams it on the ground, and you see the ground itself ripples around you, and then the walls are rippling around you, and the air is rippling around you,
Don't
and
like this.
everything ceases, and you are somewhere else entirely. You are.
Can I just
Yeah.
can I look to her and just go, warning next time?
I said it wasn't gonna hurt.
You didn't tell me I was going to be in a completely different place.
Welcome to our secret demiplane of security. And you see you are in a large circular chamber that seems to go up almost like a tower to a ceiling that you can't even see. And you see within this chamber there are 10 divots in the walls. 3 of which you see a red sheen to them that you immediately recognize as a sort of blood glass frame between you and whatever is on the other side of it.
There are links on the other side of it.
You do see in each of these 3 divots a floating link of Tartarus.
Who have you managed to get?
Well, I actually can't take credit for any of them individually. It wasn't actually me who did it, but
You were the organization behind this. Give yourself some credit.
I appreciate it. That one over there is Hyperion. He was retrieved from Sparta by a lovely girl named Crisa, who can't wait for you to meet. She's wonderful. That one next to Hyperion is Iapetus. That one actually retrieved by King Theseus himself.
Oh,
Perhaps
thanks,
our
Theseus.
most powerful ally, I might say. He is a
Yeah.
part of our little organization. And the third one is Coeus, who was retrieved by, I think, I don't know if you ever crossed paths with the lightning chasers.
Yes.
Well, that one was retrieved from Xander by the twins Dardania and Iasus, who are also part of our organization. They're great.
Can I just really quickly be rude about them for a moment and just sarcastic because I need something that feels normal, which was bragging on the lightning chasers for us.
Great? Yeah,
They
of course.
finally got one. We got 3 and they got 1.
Speaking of things getting one,
Oh God.
not all of the missions were successful. There is one that is not in our possession. Phoebe. From those of us who went in search, it appears that Phoebe was taken by the cult of Tiamat.
I mean, at the very moment, we at least know that they can't reunite all the links.
Yes, that's true. And if your friends are correct in what they told me before they all killed themselves, Mnemosyne is still safe with Artemis, and Thea is
Yes.
safe with Poseidon. And
Yes.
you all said that
Themis is what the one
Themis is oh yes, who is also a friend. So those 3 are also safe. So we have 6. And then 1 is with the bad guys, and then there are 3 others that, as far as I know, have not yet been touched by either side.
Did they tell you where they were supposed to be at?
Yes. So
Okay.
we've crossed off Xander. We've crossed off Sparta, Athens. Those are those 3. And then Phoebe was in Retriat,
Okay.
which I believe leaves 1 in the ocean and 1 in the Frostlands. And then
Yes.
Kronos, wherever Kronos is.
Yes, I'm gonna have to go to the Frostlands anyway because I got some stuff to do.
I hope you're not going to go alone to try to get a link.
No, I'm not going to get a link. I'm gonna tell her about the quest thing, the side quest I have
Sure.
to go to all the different places.
Well, I will say, if you're looking to do some good while you wait for your friends to come back, if you'd like to go on the provider journey with Tekalis and Vanix tomorrow, they are likely to hit several different cities and several different environments that might be useful for you.
Let me talk to them and see if there's a place we can meet up. There's a couple of things I need to do first.
Sure.
I need to go find my parents and talk to them about some things.
All right. Well, they are at Shauna's shop for whenever you're ready. There is one more thing. Not everyone that you left is still with us. Shortly after everything changed, a group of proud Delphians and supporters of Apollo decided to make it their quest to go to the City of Sunrise and do what Phaeton could not, and carry the sun across the sky themselves. And we haven't heard from any of them since.
Who was in this group?
I believe she was employed by you, Amber and Keth, as well as Sunman Koro,
No.
and some other lesser Apollo priests and such like that. I'm sorry. I know it's possible they're still alive out there, but we're not assuming that is the case anymore.
To be brutally honest, if Phaeton could not do it, I doubt they could have.
In addition,
Kara was supposed to lead them.
speaking of leaders,
If you say something that's happened to Adela right now, Cora, I might lose it.
no, she has been promoted
Oh,
because the Lord's mansion was attacked and the Lord is dead.
okay. I'm not that concerned about the Lord. I have some other beef with him because of somebody I've met before.
That's fine. Yes, the cult of Tiamat has been getting quite strong lately.
He's a bit of an airhead anyway, so.
Yeah. So
He was.
The manor is a bit destroyed. They sort of decimated the entire place. But
Okay.
Odella is running the city from her quarters in the Light's Eye.
Okay, can I go see Odella?
Of course. Also, if you're going to be leaving, but you want to make sure that you can stay in contact, I actually have something that I believe belongs to you. One of my people picked it up in Sylvan. It's a set of 3 sending stones. I didn't even know that was possible.
Finally, yes! We've been waiting for these.
Great. Paloma's been working on getting some more as well. But as of yet, these are the 3 that we have.
So these are all linked, right?
Yes. So she gives you one. I'll keep the other 2, and then if your friends arrive, then they'll immediately get one as well, and we'll be okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It's good to see you again.
It is good to see you too. I promise I will give you a better hug at some point before I leave. I just got to get back acclimated to this.
All right. So, what are you doing, Anora? What are the steps on your checklist?
All right, go to the Light's Eye, meet Odella.
Yes, Odella is extremely happy to see you. She was stressed before she was in charge of everything, and now she is in charge of everything. But seeing you has given her a hope that you could tell she was missing the last few months.
Okay. I just wanted to stop in, check in with you, make sure everything was okay. Let you know I'm back. The rest should be back at some point, but I have to leave to go take care of a couple of things before anything else.
She like takes your head in her hands. She just looks at you. The age of darkness has just gotten some light. She kisses you on the forehead.
I've also got to stop dying. I'm so sorry. I do it too much. Give Lileo my love, but I need to leave.
All right. Where are you going?
As soon as I am done with the Light's Eye. Oh, before I leave, can I ask Odella what happened to Cineveth?
Cineveth, I believe she was part of the mission that Caro organized.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to let her know that that I was back, even though she couldn't bring me back originally.
Well, if you can bring back the gods, perhaps you can bring back their servants as well.
We'll see. I already asked a lot of Artemis.
Yeah. All right, what next?
I want to look real quick. I'll look to Odella again. I've made Cora make the same promise. I'll tell her everything too.
You got it.
If it comes down to it, and you happen to be there,
you got it.
Do not hesitate.
All right. What else you got?
Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna run back to Cora and tell her I want to meet the people that she was talking about.
You know where Shauna's shop is. You've been there before. That's the druid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
who sells
I'll
you
go
potions and
talk to
stuff.
Sean. Go to Shauna's shop to talk with them real quick then.
All right. When you get to Shauna's shop, Shauna herself is not there, but you see the place is full of people who with natural magic or arcane magic, people who are getting ready for this journey. But two come to introduce themselves to you. Um, First, you see a man. He looks slightly older than you, maybe mid-20s, mid to late 20s. He has dark brown, nearly black hair that's partially pulled back out of his face. The lower half of his face has some dark stubble. He wears leathers and furs. He has a beautiful longbow draped across his shoulder with a quiver of arrows strapped to his waist. It's clear that this is a guy who's very comfortable out in the wilderness, and he reaches out a hand. Well, I hear you're the person to meet. The name is Teclis, son of Hecate.
I have some news for you and your friend that you might not appreciate.
I'm sure. Vanix. And you see another person arrive. Gender non-conforming, a bit unclear. They have a slightly larger frame, a bit of pudge in place of like the heavily muscled bodies of most adventurers you've seen. Their light brown hair has been shaved short, and they've adorned themselves with beautiful earrings and a necklace. They wear a muted green blouse with flowy sleeves, and they have an ornately beautiful book strapped to their waist. Hiya, the name's Vanix, child of Demeter.
Okay. I'm gonna sit both of them down because I'm like, I need to rest A and B. I don't know if you want to be standing for this news. Um, I need you to get a message to your mother. Xanax, whatever, Xanax, right?
Vanix.
Xanax. Okay, thank you. Um, Persephone is not the one behind everything. She is being manipulated.
Oh.
And I think Demeter needs to know that her daughter is being manipulated. It is not of her own decisions.
Manipulated by who?
That's where it gets a little complicated. She's being manipulated by Hecate.
Teclis goes, of fucking course she is.
Yeah, I didn't know how you would react to that. I was a little concerned.
Well, I'm not
so I had to
surprised,
sit
I'll tell you
down.
that much.
Yeah, she is the one who is manipulating everything. She caused a bunch of stuff that caused a rift between Hades and Persephone, and has been the one who has been speaking to Persephone about why isn't she on Olympus and a bunch of other things. So, yes, your mother is the one who is manipulating Persephone, unfortunately. But if you can get that message to Demeter, hopefully it'll give her some hope and she'll end the eternal winter. Tell her that we will get the flame and the sun back on everything that we've come to hold dear, and that's a lot for all of us. We will get the flame and the sun back. We need the winter to end, though, because we need the hope.
I can certainly give it a go. I would never claim to be extremely close to my mother, but this kind of message could go a long way.
Yeah, anything you can do. I might join you on your trip, but I've got some stuff to do in a couple of other places first. Do you have any way you can keep in touch with Cora?
Do they? Teclis goes, yes, I do. I can get a message. How long do you think you'll be?
I'm not sure. I have to go explain some things to my parents and do a couple of things in the forest now that I'm back.
Where are your parents?
To read Sullivan.
Oh, we're heading to Sullivan.
How long until you'll be in Sullivan?
Well, we have to hit Giantsbane first, and then we'll go from Giantsbane to Ithaca to Sullivan.
Okay. Dependent upon how long do you think that'll take?
Well, it's hard to tell time these days, but
vague estimate.
We only stay in each city for about a day. Those of us who are capable of creating daylight give them about a day's worth of daylight. We give them good berries, we create fire for them, and then we send them on our way and we move on. There's lots of people to help.
Okay. I'll probably still be in Sullivan when you get there.
How are you going to get there?
I've been there before. I can teleport myself there a different one way or another.
All right, well, we'll see when we see you, I suppose.
Yeah, we just just ask for the it's not we're dealing. It's not exactly hard.
Vanish. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope to see you soon.
Uh, you can't find me.
All right.
I am gonna go talk to her. I'll be seeing you soon.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go give Cora that big hug and tell her goodbye.
You got it?
Take care of yourself. Keep me updated. Let me know when everybody's back.
Understood.
And I am going to go out and wild shape into a giant owl and fly out to the forest.
The Forest of Artemis?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing there?
I want to go find the druids if I can.
Yeah, it's not hard to find. They're all surrounding the Huntress tree, which is this enormous tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna land and then launch it back into myself. Or just turn back into myself.
All right. What do you want to talk to them about?
I just want to check in and see how things have been going from their perspective with everything.
Things have definitely changed. The worship of Artemis has changed in light of this, but their mission has not changed. They are still here to protect the tree. They still don't interact with the outside world. They've just noticed the change and they know what's going on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened. I wanted to check in, make sure everything was okay. Is it okay if I crash here for a little while, get my strength back, and then I'll be on my way?
Yeah, they let you sleep there. It's no problem.
Okay, yeah, I need to take a long rest at least.
Sure. All right. How long are you staying there?
How long does it take me to get back up from my -4?
4 days. Each day it's -1.
Oh, okay, then no, I'll stay just the one day, the one long rest.
Okay. And then what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast transport via plants and go from here to the tree closest in Sylvan that I can think of.
It would be deep in the Acmonian wood, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be one on the edge of it, like where I was raised.
To get one with the diameter you would need, it's not like directly in the center, but it's not right on the edge either.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Because I'm guessing there's none in Sylvan, is there?
Definitely not. No.
Okay.
All right. You transport back to Sylvan. You go and meet up with your parents. Chief thing that you see that is different. Your mother is very tired. It seems that the longer that your father is split between body and soul, the more each side of that, A, forgets more and more about who he is, and B, is trying to just sort of wander. You get the sense that that if you are able to end the contract and get him back to how he was, that this won't last. This is not like permanent brain damage or anything like that. But until that happens, it's getting harder and harder for your mom to sort of keep them both in the house, to the point where she's actually like locked your father up to prevent him from wandering.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as I walk in, I want to go up to her, hug her. I couldn't free him this time. I'm so sorry.
I know you will. Just finish this.
I need you to know what it might take to free him so that you're prepared.
All right.
So then did Artemis tell you what happened after I'd asked her to come tell you?
She told me a bit.
She told you I died, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I came back. I talked to Hades, and I didn't have time to go to release Dad this time. He said the next time and the final time I die, and I'll have the opportunity. So I'll have to die to get that soul back.
I have to say, These fucking gods. You helped save Hades and he couldn't even just go and remove this problem for you? How obnoxious.
As a whole, one favor.
Well,
And if I ask him to do that takes up that whole favor for
well,
the party.
I trust you know what you're doing. Just, I'll be fine here. Your father will be fine here. We'll be okay.
It's all the way to people and travel with them, provided food and what I can to anybody.
All right, so what are you doing?
Again, go check on my dad and just hang out around Sylvan. Look, whenever I'm getting ready to leave, just I want to look back to my mom. I know it's not ideal, and I know you don't like the fact that it's choosing my life over his, but he's been in your life longer. I'll get him back for you, whether that takes me dying or not. I'll be happy in the end. If you're both happy again.
I trust you.
I love you no matter what's happened.
As do I.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna leave with the providers.
Okay. So it's hard to tell time, but you're not quite sure how long you travel with them. But with the providers, you spend at least probably weeks with them. You go to Ithaca, you go to Pallet Town. Along the way, you learn more about your traveling companions. Specifically, you learn about Vanix and you learn about Teclis. Something that is one of the first things you learn about Teclis is actually something he brings up the first time he sees you around the campfire with your longbow. He is fascinated by your longbow, and he seems to recognize it. And through conversation, you find out that his father is the one who created your longbow, Thornwind. His father is an extremely gifted bowsmith and works in the Northern Forest with unique woods that many other people don't work with. And that his father was the one that was tasked with making that bow for the King of Sylvan. So that's like just a fun thing that he's just fascinated by, and he's grateful that he can see this longbow again. Vanix, you find out, is a summoner, a conjurer. At various times, you see them create elementals and even like demons and slashes, like a bunch of random stuff. But he does have, but they do have this sort of connection with the earth, and you see when they create like earth elementals and stuff, they look less rocky like normal elementals and more like fresh tilled soil that has just sort of come to life. Along the way, you are able, if you would like, to find other moon stars and continue your training in different habitats if you'd like to.
I would, yes.
Okay, so do me a favor and roll me
Mhm.
a d8 to see how many different habitats you're able to go to before things pull you elsewhere.
Okay. That is a 7.
7. Okay, so you get to go to a lot of different places.
Yeah. I should be getting close.
You are getting close. So you actually, and it makes sense. In Ithaca, you're actually able to get 2 in 1. You learn about urban animals as well as coastal animals in Ithaca. In Palatown, which is this really interesting coastal city that exists in this area that is almost completely submerged in high tide and then is dry in low tide, and it creates a sort of swamp-like atmosphere. And so you're able to get urban, coastal, and swamp. You then, on their next trip to Giantsbane, which is the dwarven city at the foot of the Olympian Mountains, you find out that they have a mouth a cave system there that goes all the way down to the Underdark. So you are able to go on a little mission down into the Underdark and find the dark druids that live down there, the Duergar druids, who teach you about the animals of the Underdark as well. Um, you then continue along the Olympian Mountains up to Anvola, which is a human settlement at the base of the mountains, and that is where they actually take you on a hike up some of the mountains. You don't get anywhere close to the peaks of the Olympian Mountains, but you do learn about mountain animals and that sort of thing. And then you actually pass through Delphi on your way to a more easternly direction. You go all the way down to Attica, which is like right at the edge of the peninsula that connects the Spartan territories and the Athenian alliance. In Attica, you learn about grassland animals and that sort of thing. And then you actually hit Philoi, which is your last stop before things change, heavily in the Spartan territories. Philoi is famous for hosting the Olympic Games. That is their sort of claim to fame. But it's also the last sort of hilly environment before you get to the desert of most of the Spartan territories. So, in the time before you hear from Korra again, which is 6 months, you get Underdark, Mountain, Urban, Coastal, Swamp, and Grassland. And you get jewels for each of them. So you get an obsidian jewel, a gray jewel, a crystal, a quartz, sort of a cat's eye emerald, and a light green emerald as well, and a ruby. I'll write all this down.
How many have I got left? How many have I got left?
What you have left is desert and Arctic. Though I will also
places we're going to go.
I will also say that at least in the Arctic, there's no new animals for you to learn in the Arctic.
Okay.
So up to you. Cool. I will say, if you don't have the list up right now, I'll send you the list eventually.
Yeah, I'm also going to need to know what to add to my wild shapes.
Yeah. I'll send it to you. Don't worry. But while you're in Philoi, you get a message on your sending stone. Ilme, you have awoken in your tomb. What happens with you?
Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm strong enough to open this thing up. I'm just gonna start knocking and like yelling, and I'm like, "Get me out of here!"
Luckily, because Korra has placed a member of the 100 Hands at the door to the tomb, someone is there to hear you. And it's not long before they shove the marble on top of you off and bring you up into a sitting position. They allow you to catch your breath before eventually leading you to the Sunbrow Manor, to the Society of the 100 Hands. And you essentially get the same spiel that Korra just gave Anura.
Oh, okay, that's a lot. First off, how big is the Eyes of Gaia?
It's hard to say. Although they have sort of come out of the shadows and are ruling in some places, their actual organizational count is unclear. We have some people on the inside, but the information that we get is extremely limited.
Okay. I feel like my best bet as I wait for everybody is I'm going to use what I have to infiltrate the Eyes of Gaia.
Dope.
So if you can get me in with your contacts, and I'll spend the time to use my infiltration to become a member of the Eyes of Gaia.
I love that. Okay. So, knowing that the Eyes of Gaia sort of exists everywhere, although also knowing that Delphi is sort of a hub of the 100 Hands and isn't really a center of the Eyes of Gaia, what city would you like to go to sort of start anew and try to worm your way in?
Well, first off, where are that Korra said they had?
Yes,
points of
she
contact?
lets you know they have a daughter of Ares named Neriana, who has infiltrated the Eyes of Gaia in the city of Midas, which is down in the Spartan territories.
Okay. And that's it?
That's her big pull.
Okay. I guess I'll head there first then and meet up with whatever her name was. I already forgot it.
Neriana.
Nariana, okay,
Okay.
and get some more information from them.
All right. So I will say, Anora, is there anything that you do when you get the message that Ilme is back? And you, in that message, you also get that Ilme has decided to infiltrate the Eyes of Gaia.
Do I know that she's coming to the Spartan territories?
Yeah, you would know that she would have to go through Philoi to get to Midas.
Okay. I'm gonna send back to, I guess Cora's the one there with her, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send back to Cora. Tell Ilme I'm in the Spartan territories in that same area. She should be able to find me if I'm still here.
All right.
And I want to meet up with her if I can, at least before I continue helping for the time being.
Okay. So because there's only 3 sending stones and Ilme is going to cross paths with Anora, Cora suggests not taking one and leaving one for whoever comes next. That's up to you, Ilme.
Well, I feel like if I'm going to infiltrate the Eyes of
That's a
Gaia,
good point.
that I should have an easy way of communication.
She gives you one. And she has Paloma working to see if she can add more sending stones to this same connection. Cool. So, as you pass through Philoi, you can meet up with Anora before going your separate ways again. Is there anything you'd like to discuss together or anything like that?
I mean, I'll go up and I'll give Nora a hug, and I'm like, thank God that we're slowly coming together again. Are you going to ever take on a quest to get the rest of the links, or are you wanting to wait till we have the rest of our party?
You are muted.
I realized that about the same time you said you were muted. I said I am muted. I with the links, I think I'm gonna wait till we at least have a few more people back. I still have to go to the Frostlands anyway, because I'm trying to complete the little side quest thing for Artemis anyway. And it's one of the last 2 that I have to get.
Okay. Well, I have one of the sending stones. I'm hopefully going to get deep into this organization since I know that Kenai was very close with Hecate. I'm hoping that I can get some more information about what's going on that end. So don't reach out to me because I don't know what's going to happen. I'll reach out to you.
That's fair. Good luck. Depending upon if Cora lets me know if they get another sending stone or not, I might drop mine back off.
I'm also
Delphi.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some of my stuff, as in things that are easily recognizable from the Hands of Fate.
All right.
She's going fully undercover.
Yeah, so getting rid of I don't want to. I'm gonna have to buy a new rapier. But this is very recognizable as mine, so you're gonna take the rapier.
Can you just leave them in your inventory and say you gave them to me instead of actually trying? Okay, good.
Yeah. But I give you that. I give you my necklace. I'm gonna keep my crossbow of Ricochet because I don't know if that's as well known as the rapier.
Probably not. Yeah, you're probably safe with that.
Yeah, it's mainly just the necklace and the rapier.
Yeah.
Have I got anything that would be helpful to you in any way, shape, or form? I don't know.
I mean, I still have a lot of. I should be fine. It should be fine.
And I will also say, Ilme, on the eve of your going undercover, you are visited by Hermes.
Ooh, okay.
He is very grateful that you are back and that you have saved Hades. He is very much up to speed with everything, but he has come not for that, but to give you a gift. He's proud of what you've done, and he heard about your little speed tornado down in the underworld, and he thought he wanted to weaponize that a little bit more. And so he hands you a pair of boots. So you can add boots of concussive speed to your inventory.
Ooh.
It's gonna be like haste or something, but no, concussive speed.
Yeah. Think Makari from Eternals.
I love it.
Yeah. It essentially doubles your speed, and if you use your movement, action, and bonus action to dash, so you go max movement, when you stop, you set off like a sonic wave that causes damage.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's so cool.
Oh, I'm excited for these.
So you meet Nariana. You see she has dark brown skin, covered in heavy metal armor, with like pointed shoulder pauldrons and a helm that covers a good deal of her face. The helm comes to a point like a mohawk, similar to the standard helms you've seen on soldiers all across Gaia, except that the mohawk of this helm is made of metal, and it's dyed red at the tip, almost giving it the appearance of like a horn, a bloodied horn of a monster. Underneath the helm, she has red war paint coming down from both eyes. She has a red cloak or cape attached to both of her shoulder pauldrons that drapes behind her. And on her hip, she has a very unique, deadly-looking greatsword that seems to be made of onyx or some other sort of jet black material. Through talking with her, you find out that she is fueled by the power of Ares. She is a paladin, but the particular skill set that she has can often be misconstrued as a little bit darker or a little bit more violent. Especially her sword, which she calls Maledictus, which is a very dark sword. That the sword itself seems to get enjoyment from battle, very much like Ares. But Nariana is fairly high up in the Eyes of Gaia here in Midas. What are your goals in this undercover mission?
I mainly want to know what exactly the Eyes of Gaia are planning, because I don't really know exactly what's going on there. Want to know their next moves. Are they with Hecate? Are they in contact with any other cults? Since I know Hecate is like trying to rouse them all. I also want to know if like Philippos is still part of the thing.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, which is just going to cover all of your investigating during this time.
Okay. 19.
So it's not hard for the Eyes of Gaia to accept you. With your skill set, they can always use an assassin. They can always use a sneak. They can always use someone that can turn invisible. And so they quickly find jobs for you. What's more challenging for you is figuring out how to either do the job without sacrificing your own identity, or not do the job but make it look like you did the job. A lot of that's really challenging, but it allows you access. And with Nariana vouching for you, you quickly gain in the ranks. You learn a few things about this organization. First of all, it goes all the way to the top. The Emperor of Xander is a member of the Eyes of Gaia. But even with that, there is less of a typical power structure. There are different sects and different areas of the Eyes of Gaia, but what is very clear is that what Kenai had told you about the Eyes of Gaia is mostly not true. They seem to be a cult whose goal is to kill the gods. How they want to do that, why they want to do that, differs from sect to sect. and from person to person, but they all have that same goal of killing the gods. Now, knowing what you know about how some members of the Eyes of Gaia were associated with Hecate or doing things for Hecate, you poke and prod a bit about that, and whether the Eyes of Gaia is a cult for Hecate or not, it certainly appears that that is not widely accepted as fact. And that if Hecate is behind this cult, she's doing so behind so many smoke and mirrors that even the cultists don't know that that's who they're answering to, if they are. Or Hecate could have just seen this organization and known how to manipulate them so that they achieve her goals as well as their goals. You do hear that Philippos and a lot of the Eyes of Gaia in Delphi were very quickly scattered to the wind after what has become known as the Night of the Red Moon, and that most of the people that Kenai employed were then taken in by other sects of the Eyes of Gaia. So yes, you assume Philippos is somewhere out there. You don't hear anything about his death, but you also don't hear anything about where he is specifically. And all of that takes you about 3 months before you get a message, as does Anura, that Adagio is back. If Adagio's camera works. Adagio. God, it's awful. Adagio, you wake up in your tomb. What are you doing? I wish I knew what you were saying. It's not you. It's fully my computer. What'd you say? Not really. Why don't you put it in
Verizon
chat?
commercial.
This is so dumb. We were doing so well for a bit. Oh, you're putting in a Discord chat. Okay. Cool. So Adagio is going to open Redemption for Light and then Rage and Bust Open. Got it. Not hard to do. You are very quickly greeted by a member of the 100 Hands. You are brought to Sunbrow Manor and you get the same spiel as the rest of your party did. What are you doing with your time? Main mission is probably to set off to sunrise. Okay. Cora does like try to dissuade you from that. At the very least, she's like, if all of those people couldn't do that, a solo mission is probably fruitless. Let alone you would need to like find a ship that'll take you all the way to the eastern edge of the world. It's not an easy endeavor, but she won't stop you if you are going to do it. You use stones to tell the others I want to use at least one of the links like Apollo said we would. You know what? Maybe now's a great time to take our intermission. So that we don't have to do this. I am so sorry. And I apologize to the viewers for what is just an awful tech night. I can only apologize. We're going to go to intermission, and hopefully it'll be fixed by the time we get back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. And we're back. Welcome. We're looking great. All of the cameras need to restart. We're doing great. So I'm going to do that. And as I'm doing that, Adagio, what are you doing?
I don't want to set out to sunset right now. I want to plan to eventually set out to sunset.
Understood.
Sunrise.
You want to plan to go to sunrise, you mean?
Yeah, so I want to like message Traya to see if she's doing whatever she's doing with this.
All right, so you're going to message Traya.
Attempt to message Kato, and then I guess check up on Delphi while I'm like doing things.
You guys won't believe this. But now OBS is freaking out, and I can't get any of your videos to go, and I'm not even sure if stream can hear you.
I just need to put this out there for everybody. I can be a giant fire beetle.
Stream cannot hear anything any of you are saying. I love everything. And I was like, man, we figured it all out.
Isaac speak on the stream on my phone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And Nora.
Great.
I have so many things to add.
So, I don't know what's going on, but if it's working, then it's working. So Adagio, how would you like to prepare to go to sunrise?
Oh, well, there are a couple things I want to do.
Go ahead.
Well, first I was going to message Traya.
Sure.
To see where in general world and what has happened with her.
Yes, so Traya is serving as the captain of the Ark of Fate. She is protecting the Trident Sea. What you hear from her is that dark forces in the sea have been more active than ever.
Okay, the stream is completely gone for me now. I wonder if
Oh, cool.
No, it's good. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Sorry, it just freaked out for a second.
Okay, you keep giving me updates, okay? So the seas, the dark creatures of the sea are more active than ever. And through messaging her back and forth, you get the sense that while Traya is having a time of her life on the Ark of Fate, and she tells you over and over again about how amazing this ship is and how she can't wait for you guys to all be on the ship, Chomokratis is active. You hear that for the first time in centuries, islands are being wiped off the map. Specifically, Chomokratis seems to have been attacking some of the Hephaestides Islands, the volcanic islands holy to Hephaestus. Some of the smaller ones have been disappearing. They're just gone. Chomokratis himself has not appeared, or at least Traya has not seen Chomokratis or anything like that, but the seas are definitely dangerous. But she and her crew have been going around helping in a similar way as the providers, but they've just been like shipping cargo in waters that are not safe for anyone else to ship, but because the Ark of Fate is so well manned and so well weaponized, the Ark of Fate can go through trade routes that are no longer safe for other ships. So that's what she's been doing most of the time.
Did she run into Simon Kara and all them heading to sunrise?
She did not see them.
Did she like sail that far? Like, is it still there, or has it been swallowed?
She has seen so sunrise. There's a sunrise and a sunset on either side of the Grecian continent, but those are sister cities to the real sunrise and sunset, which are way past the other continents on the eastern and western edges of the world. So she has seen that like the proto sunrise still exists, but she has not sailed as far as the actual sunrise, so she has no idea.
And if I try messaging Caro,
You don't get a response.
damn, sad faces everywhere. Okay, then I'll use wow, she's standing right in front of me. Cora,
yeah.
God. I want to use one of the links the way Apollo told us to use the links,
Okay.
but I want to make sure it's okay for Nora and Elme because they're the only people around.
There is a third sending stone. You can talk to them, but the way sending stones work, you can, if you want to use a sending stone, each can only message once per day, but you have sending, so you can do whatever you want.
So I'll message with Nora because I know Elme is like
Undercover.
We can't agree. Then I'll bring it to Elme.
Anora?
Was there a question in that? Because it did not sound like one.
I want to use one of the links. I want to bond one of the links and use it as a weapon. Well, not a weapon. A weapon.
It depends on the link.
Well, the
I
ones-
trust you to make a good decision.
The ones we have in possession are heaven, light, intelligence, and craftsmanship says mortality.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Yes.
right.
I mean, I don't think any of those would be useful per se.
I just want to tell Adagio, I trust you to make a good decision.
Okay. So then can I just spend like time with them, like all three of them in like that weird other world and like get a feeling of like personalities and views on like the gods and everything and like if any of them would actually physically want to bond with me?
Yeah. Go ahead and just make a blank charisma check to see how they perceive you and that sort of thing.
Not charisma. I have a +0 to charisma. That's a 12.
12. There are a few of them that you can tell immediately don't jive with you very well. Coeus, the Titan of Intelligence, seems uninterested in helping you at all. He is very much in the mindset of there is no benefit for me helping you take down my brethren when I can just wait and eventually I'll be free. So I don't really understand why I would help you at all. Iapetus is a bit more understanding, but not super. He is craftsmanship, but he's also mortality, and so he has a sort of grave seriousness to him, where he's essentially sort of like a doomsayer. You get the sense from him that he knows that there is bloodshed in the future, that many will die, that many will be trapped forever, essentially dead, just like he's been trapped for all these centuries, essentially dead. And he is just sort of stuck in that state of mind that he doesn't want to do anything to start this war because he knows that only death will follow. Hyperion is maybe the most promising, but even he is not like super a good match for you. He is heavenly light. And before Apollo, he was the one in charge of carrying Helios across the sky. So there is that sort of familial element there. He is almost like Apollo's father in that sense. Right, like yeah, like that sort of thing. So there is that sort of familiarity there, but Hyperion is also like, I can't wait to be out of here so I can start carrying the sun across the sky again and make Apollo pay for taking over my domain. So
I
yeah.
can like try convincing the dude to like carry the sun for now, just like la la la, Apollo will come later.
And he's very willing. He's like, listen, if you can figure out a way to get me out of this thing, I'll be happy to carry the sun across the sky.
No, what if like we bond and you just help me carry the chariot?
He doesn't seem interested in that.
Sucks. Rash. Oh well, I guess I'll go check up on. Okay, so then I'll spend whatever time until next person pops up, attempting to track down divination
Oh, sure.
magic users.
Well, I will say you know of one in Delphi, Diviner Nicolaus, who is the head of the School of Divination in the Whispers, or at least was when you were here. He was one of the people that helped fight alongside you guys on the Day of Endless Light. Um, when you go over to that area of the Whispers, when you get to the House of Divination, the door opens for you before you can knock, and you see Diviner Nicolaus. He's this bald black man, human man, um, probably like 50s, and he's very much like, we knew you were coming, blah blah blah. But you also yeah, you also get the sense that like he's not an oracle, he can't see the future, he just is a skilled diviner, and so he can like poke and prod the future to discover things. But the main lesson he teaches you, A, is that if you naturally have it, it can't be taught. But B, that the fates, like the future is never a certain thing. There are some things that the fates have ordained to happen. And that is often where prophecies come in. The prophecy is the manifestation of the fates making a decision. But sometimes prophecies come from the fates themselves or even beyond the fates, and so there are some prophecies that speak to potential futures, though those are far rarer than a normal prophecy which speaks to a future. How much do you tell him about what you've experienced with prophecy?
How much do I trust this man?
Make an insight check.
Inside, what is that, a +8 now? Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, it's a nat 20.
Ooh!
28.
He fought alongside you to defend the city, so you know, at least in that regard, that you trust him a bit. He is a wizard in every sense of the word, in the sense that like you don't get any bad intentions from him, but you do get a sense of like he's like trying to essentially like dissect you from like a purely scholaristic standpoint. He's just fascinated by divination magic, and to see someone who is the son of the god of prophecy, who has seemingly been touched by the fates themselves and given a slight gift of prophecy, like he would just love to just study you forever.
Okay, fine. Full throttles in.
Okay. So he does mention that like the fates touching people and giving them prophecy is rare, but is not unheard of. There are more oracles in the world besides just the Oracle of Delphi, and some of the most powerful oracles do claim that that is the root of their prophecy. It is a gift from the fates. So you're in good company, which is a little daunting. But the biggest thing he encourages you to do is that just like make yourself open to future prophecy and future visions. So just clear your mind and allow yourself to be open to the cosmos. And if you can find a real oracle, obviously this used to be the mecca for people like you to train under the Oracle of Delphi, to talk to the Oracle of Delphi, that sort of thing. Obviously that's not a thing anymore. But there are other oracles that you can seek out that won't give you the same kind of training, but could potentially give you some information. I will also say, if you're spending some time in Delphi training with Diviner Nicholas and that sort of thing, the ruined temple on the side of the city that you know from going through the gauntlet, like on a different plane of existence, it is still beautiful and perfect, but on this plane of existence, it's destroyed. It is no longer destroyed to you. But asking around, everyone else still sees it the same, but you don't.
So I can just like, can I, like, if I walk there, am I like on a different plane of existence? What happens?
Nope. You spend some time investigating this over the weeks. You can just like take a boat or swim over to this little peninsula and walk through these beautiful halls that no one else can see. And when you step foot on that island, to everyone else, you disappear. But you are distinctly not on another plane of existence. Like, you know what it was like when you were on another plane of existence earlier. You feel like you have not traveled anywhere, but you can just sort of walk these halls, and it's weird. There is no one here, but you have this entire area to yourself, and it is consciously a very different layout than the gauntlet you experienced. It is not the same sort of like rooms and puzzles and that sort of thing. It is a much more traditional, grand temple. And even just like being in this space, especially with Diviner Nicolaus telling you to open yourself up to prophecy and open yourself up to visions, you can feel spending time in this space, meditating in this space, you can feel that working.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is this space like filled with? Like books and things I could read from the Oracle?
There are some scrolls, definitely no books. It feels, everything about this place feels ancient to the point where you're probably pre-book at this point. But there are scrolls. Most of them are prophecies. Most are unexciting. But you spend time looking at these prophecies and reading these prophecies and really just sort of like figuring out how this oracle at least interpreted what she saw. So you can read all about prophecies about like if there's gonna be a good harvest this year, or if you should go to war with this city, or like all that kind of stuff is at your disposal.
It's not like a Oracle chainmail.
Not quite, no.
Damn. It'd be
Yeah.
cool shit like a stash of like sending stones and it's like,
Yeah.
yo, I just predicted we'd win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But I will say, if you're spending time in Delphi, about a month and a half goes by before someone new comes to town. Someone who woke up in the field between the Forest of Artemis and Delphi and wandered to the next city. Lathos is back.
Big old bear hug. Oh my goodness. We need a hiding.
Great.
Hidden from the world.
So Lathos spends most of his time in Delphi to sort of understanding what's happening. Once he gets up to speed with your help and Cora's help and that sort of thing, he focuses in on the link in the Frostlands, and he seems to think that he might have a lead. Before Looms, before all of that, back when he lived in the Frostlands, he encountered and almost died in the cave of a powerful white dragon.
Oh, great.
And if there's any powerful dark creature that could be connected to this link, that'd be a sure good place to start. Though he's not super excited to do that, because he literally almost died last time he was there. He was brought as like a sacrifice and barely escaped and fell like hundreds of feet into snow. But he at least gives you that lead.
Okay, well, I will pocket that. And not too much about it.
Yeah.
Is the werewolf still alive? Is that dude still here?
He is still here, although all the crops are dead, so he's not doing great.
Yeah, probably the best.
Yeah.
Well, my parents, my aunt and my mama.
Yes, so you can absolutely take a weekend trip to Gildor. They are overwhelmed in happiness to see you. Yeah, your mom is like, I never doubted it. I knew you'd come back. Your aunt's like, I absolutely doubted it, and I'm so happy you're back. Yeah. But you can spend as much time with them as you'd like. It's nice to be back home.
And then when I'm in Delphi, I know Odella's like in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Officially. First of all, I'm gonna mourn the loss of my lord.
Yeah, that's fair.
So much.
Yeah.
For no reason. Oh, cried a couple tears. And then I asked Odella if any other like children of Apollo have like passed through or like made themselves known or attempted
She
to.
has not heard of any other children of
Okay.
Apollo.
I'm mad.
Yeah, sorry.
No, like world news, like they're just out there doing whatever they want.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible that some are doing things and not revealing that they are children of Apollo. But as far as the web of the 100 Hands goes, they have not picked up any other children of Apollo.
That's not annoying at all. Yeah. Well then, I'll ask Odella. I don't know. Do I like fall into like is there like a thing like the town seems to like walk from me like just like seeing me back? They're like, oh my god.
I will say your ability to cause daylight ends up being very helpful. Both from your drift globe and I believe it's one of your spells as well. It is something that is often requested, and it becomes sort of a part of your pattern where every day you go to the Sun Center Temple and you,
Is Sun and Carl and most of the like Sun Priest left? Like
there is the Apollo Temple is decimated. It's gone.
My god.
Yeah, like it's still standing, but there's no one there. There's no use to worship something that you know is dead. But you help to change that by going to the Sun Center Temple every day, casting daylight, giving people a few hours of sunlight in this city, and you help to bring back that hope in at least some people. Other people, like, they feel the hope, and then as the daylight fades, they are reminded that it's all fake, that it's all arcane, that the sun is dead. But you're not hurting, and you are helping some people.
Yeah. And if I talk to the ferryman?
Ferryman's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Their powers are back. He's very happy about it.
If I attempt to pray to Artemis?
You can... I will say that your clerical abilities are still being fueled by Artemis currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just... Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Auntie.
Yeah. About another month passes.
Oh.
Ryujin.
I want real close to live.
Let me do a quick sound check on stream to make sure that.
Feel free. Because sorry, I know it looks like shit on stream. So we're an audio podcast tonight.
Sounds a little echoey, but it's fine.
But you can hear everyone at least?
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that. So, Ryujin, you wake up.
So, is the top of the sarcophagus, whatever, still slid over to the side, or is it back on top?
They have since put it back on top.
Okay. Sammy, I actually need you to roll something for me real quick.
Okay.
Roll a d6. Let me know if it's below a 3.
It is a 1.
So this roll is, I feel like, just with Ryujin, dying, literally getting your throat slit, going to essentially hell, and coming back might have somewhat of an adverse effect on you mentally.
Sure.
Considering he's not very intelligent.
Sure.
Okay? And that's literally like death.
That's death. Yeah.
So he's gonna wake up and immediately teleport.
To where?
The shack on the shores of Jorax.
Ooh!
Where he grew up throughout most of his childhood, most of his life.
Go ahead and roll a D100.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know which one's to pick. We're just gonna go with the good old reliable copper set. It's fine. I am very worried.
What'd you get?
What are the odds of me rolling a 00 and a 0?
That's 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if that was 0 or 100. But
Yeah.
That's what I rolled.
3 zeros is 100.
I've never rolled that ever in the several years I've played.
Yeah, so you're totally fine. You got 100. So yeah, you appear in your old shack. It is on the outskirts of Jorax. It's right on the coast. It's still in one piece, although it has definitely seen better days. It has not been touched by anyone in years. What are you doing?
So how far away? Would I remember how far away this actually is from the city?
Yeah, I mean, like it is still within the city limits. It's maybe like a 5-minute walk to like the city proper.
And I do now see like the red moon, all that stuff.
Oh
Does
yeah,
the ocean
oh
look
yeah.
Any different? Like darker?
I mean, the ocean looks dark only because there's no light to reflect. So it does look like almost like a black ocean.
I will. Well, what's is there anything inside the shack at this point?
Anything that you left.
It's
When
probably
you-
like an old bed or like sleeping
Yeah.
area, maybe like a fire pit. Like that.
Yeah. But like, and you can see that like animals have made nests here, and you know, like it's definitely not the best place in the world, but it like technically has a mattress.
Okay. I think the first thing the region will do is go out to this like to the sea and just kind of like lay in the water for a bit and try to like I don't know, hopefully regain a little bit of strength before going into town with the cloak up. Um, you know,
I will say you do feel the strength of Poseidon when you get into this ocean, but from stepping foot in the Trident Sea, you can feel something is wrong with the oceans. There is darkness here that is more than you've ever felt in the ocean before. Something has shifted.
would I know what that is? Maybe.
Not until you dream that night.
No. Okay.
But in your dream that night, you are visited. Oh wait, no, you have that ring.
Well, what does the ring do exactly?
Oh yeah, no, the ring doesn't. The ring won't help with that.
I don't think it helps.
No.
Because I had to go and get like the elixir.
Right,
but, I mean,
right.
Before I sleep, I would
Yeah.
go into Jorax, and I guess what does that look like?
It's a smaller town. It's not really a city. It's more of just like a fishing village, essentially. But that was in the before times, and you with no update on what the world is now.
I will say I am trying to be kind of sneaky. Like I don't want to be like
Sure.
too visible. I've got the cloak up.
Go ahead and make
I'm
a
not
stealth
trying
check.
to be, like, super nervous.
Yeah.
And the cloak, just so I know it does something, but I can't remember what it. Sorry, give me 1 second.
That's right.
Cloak of Elven Kind.
I believe it probably just gives you advantage.
While you wear this cloak, with this foot up, wisdom/perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on stealth checks.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I roll advantage and it happens.
Yeah.
First one is a 19, so 21. What happens if I had? Never mind.
Okay.
I guess that's that part. 21 total.
Okay. So you are not noticed as you make your way through the town, but you definitely get a much more of a hands-on learning curve than some of your allies. This city is run by the Eyes of Gaia. This village is run by the Eyes of Gaia. However, there is a presence of the Society of the 100 Hands, but you happen to be walking into a period where you see a member of the 100 Hands being hung by the Eyes of Gaia. It is a darker place now than I mean, the Spartan territories have always been a little rough around the edges, but this feels much more like sophisticated roughness than the sort of general roughness of Sparta. This feels much more organized and much more cruel, and the people here are not doing great.
Who is Hug?
It looks like a kid that happened to have the eyes, the 100 hands symbol painted on his shirt.
Okay. Is there like a so okay? What I want you said this is a fishing village, so is there maybe like some old looking fisherman on a dock maybe? Just,
Of
like,
course
minding
there
his
is.
own
Yeah.
business?
There's a you see, so it's not terribly far from your shack, but there is another shack that you remember from living here was the home to like a grizzled old human fisherman that used to be a pirate and retired and is now just like trying to live a quiet life.
Yeah, I want to go over there.
Okay.
And is this individual like fishing outside on the shore on a dock or something, or like what are they up to?
You see there's a light on in his shack, but you don't see him.
I'd like to knock. And before anyone asks, I'm gonna take out 2 platinum, just like to have in my hand.
He opens the door a crack. Whoa, yeah. Sees the platinum.
How much? I mean you no harm.
What do you
I'll
want?
submit a couple questions. I haven't been here in a very long time, and I need some general information on what's going on. I can trouble you. You can say no if you want. Totally understand, but if you say yes, I will give you this platinum. You know, I just have a couple questions. That's it. I promise.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I get advantage on those, baby. I'm just kidding, not advantage. I have like a persuasion.
Yeah.
Plus 9. Sam, I rolled a natural 20.
Jesus.
That's the only one as I'm.
Oh my god. This is the dice I bought today.
Oh, that is true. This is your first day, so you are -4 to everything.
I mean, okay, so that's still gonna be a 25.
Yeah. So he snatches the 2 platinum out of your hand, and then opens the door. Come on in, quick, before they see you.
Sounds good.
He goes on to tell you a very different side of the story than the rest of your allies have gotten. This is very much a like on the ground in one town type story. But he talks about how everyone was awoken by 2 like booms of energy, and then the moon turned red, and then the sun never shone again. And that was the beginning of the end. And how shortly after that, how these powerful men from out of town came and killed the people who were in charge and sort of took charge of the city. And they were the ones that said that they were in charge on that. They were the ones that had killed the sun. So if they could kill the sun, they could kill any one of you. So don't you try shit. And then when the crops died, they started taking a heavy fish tax because fish was one of the few sources of food that was still viable. And so most people are either starved out of their own fish, or they had to make deals with these new rulers. And that's sort of what status quo has been for all these months. Sometimes providers come to town to provide food, and they are either robbed blind and then killed, or they are simply turned away. Jorax is a better place than most in the sense that they do have a full food supply. They don't rely on crops, they rely on their fish. They wish they had crops, but the fish are enough to keep them fed. And so providers don't come here often. A, because a lot of them are not coming back, but B, because there are far worse places to be in terms of food. So they've been largely left alone besides their new rulers.
So, that being said, I'm gonna ask, how long has it been since the moon's been red like that?
Hard to say. Maybe close to a year.
Oh man. Can I do like a quick? I just want to try. I mean, what does this shack look like? Is there windows? Like, can you see candlelight or something from outside?
There are no windows, but there are empty like pockets of wall that serve as windows, but there's no glass.
Okay.
So yes, there's like there are blinds that you could cover that with, but as it stands now, there's nothing blocking the light.
Okay. I'm gonna take out some. Hold on, let me just think about this.
Sure.
I just want to make sure this is what I want to do. Here. Almost. Okay. Do you remember who used to live in that shack? Just a little ways to the west.
Yeah, some lady and a kid.
Wait, you said you used to be a pirate, right? Way back.
I
What ship did you serve?
served on plenty in my time. I was a rower. Wherever work took me.
Did you ever serve on the Virgin Naiad?
Can't say I have.
That's okay. Be a follower of any gods?
Look around, kid. The gods are gone.
I wouldn't say that. Definitely, there's been some absence, but how do you feel about all this? Everything that's going on? I imagine not too well, but get into more specifics.
Do I miss the sunlight? Sure. But as long as Poseidon's still kicking and fish keep coming, that's alright with me.
Do you like fishing? Would you like a maybe more comfortable situation?
I'm interested.
What do you know about the woman that lived to the shack to the west?
I like to keep to myself in my retirement. I don't like talking to neighbors.
I get that. Do you remember a little boy that used to live there?
Yeah, some twerp, sure.
I see. Look,
Spit it out, boy.
I'll take out 8 more platinum. Look, I'm on my way to Delphi. I'll be here for a very short amount of time, and then I'm leaving. I recommend you come with me. I know you don't know me. I was that little boy. Just to the west. And the people that are in the town now, look, I don't know how long this is going to go on. And you just so happen to be the only person that I felt comfortable, I guess, enough speaking to and getting this information. You helped me, and I want to help you. Come with me to Delphi tonight. I will give you 8 platinum. You won't have to fish anymore. Maybe you can live comfortably off this. If not, I can arrange for you to live out the rest of your days comfortably in probably a house, not a shack, in Delphi. It's up to you. It's your decision. If you don't want to move, I'll still give you this. But those people out there in the town are not good. And from what I know, if you get on the bad side even a little, I mean, I watched a child become today. I can't imagine what they would do with a full covered adult.
You got life in you, kid. And I respect it. But I lived 1,000 lifetimes. I'm done running. I'm done fighting. I've lived here.
Don't run. Don't fight. Come with me and live out the rest of your days in retirement. comfortably, warm, dry. There's a river. You want access to water? There's a river. It's not terribly far from the ocean. Just saying.
Perhaps when I was 40 years younger, but I've made my deal with the Izagaya. They leave me alone, I leave them alone, I give them some fish. It's not the retirement I expected, but it's not bad. I hope you do what you think you can do. But I'm an old man. If I died tomorrow, I'd have died too late.
Do you have any, I guess, next of kin, anybody you want me to try and help, anything like that? I don't know. I literally just woke up. I've been away for a while.
I appreciate it, but anyone I ever cared about is waiting for me down in the underworld.
All right, well, I'll slap the other 8 in his hand, say, take this, keep it safe, you make sure that this is hidden. So, I mean, that's it. You know. And I'll get out of your hair. Thank you for your help. Stay safe. And I will once again try to sneak back to the shack.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not cutting, there is a way to go straight from this shack to your shack without cutting through the city.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I'm leaving that shack, can I do like a quick perception or something to make sure that nobody saw me go in?
Yeah, make a perception check.
That's decent. 17.
17. Yeah, this stretch of beach seems fairly abandoned at this point. You don't notice anyone.
All right. Yeah, I'll go back to the shack and I'm just trying to think. Because like from what I can see in the sand, right? There's probably not many footprints at all coming even close to this area, right? It's
No.
pretty abandoned.
Yeah.
Most people just pass by and see like an old shack that's been there for 40 years that's just untouched.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do see that there are some footprints from probably like maybe like a drunk dude or a homeless dude that has like found shelter for the night. But they're few and far between.
Okay. I will. Is there any way I could get the materials I need to summon Kai just around? There's a fire pit, there's ash.
I will say like I would say maybe not here on this night, but over the next few weeks, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then tonight I will just can I take like some shells and basically make just kind of a makeshift like alarm? Have some old shells tied together to be like kind of
Sure.
triangly, and if anyone opens the door or like set
Yeah.
up like a string around the perimeter, it'll wake me up.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll bar the door shut and try to patch up any other means of entry in the shack. Put blinds or wood, something, whatever, over the windows, and maybe set up like a little makeshift hammock because I don't want to sleep in my old bed. That's bad with bears.
Sure.
And I guess I will sleep, and in the morning head to Delphi.
Okay. That night, as you dream, you are visited by the seductive voice of Tromocrates. I'm stronger than ever before. It's not too late to join me.
That's fair. You're not wrong. And I can't completely deny your influence over my psyche, over my mental. I mean, but one of the things I summon is literally a tentacle modeled after you. However, that being said, I'm a demigod of Poseidon, you know? And yeah, you might be able to grant me temporary power, but listen, fuckface, I'm gonna kill you. You will die, finally, to the hands of the demigod of Poseidon. There's no more prancing around, maybe trapping someone. Like, within the next year, you will be calamari on a fucking stick. Listen, Oceanus will be trapped. You will die, and then you will be forgotten. You think you're some big head honcho now because you're wreaking havoc on the ocean because there's no sun, no warmth from the fire, whatever. I don't care. You are on a timer, and that is running out. So fuck with me in my dreams, whatever. It doesn't matter. It won't save you. I will kill you.
You are right about one thing, child.
That you're gonna fucking die. That's what I'm right about.
That I am on a timeline. My father has given me a task to accomplish. And I expect to accomplish it soon. I will see you on the battlefield, child. And the dream ends. So, what do you... So, you're heading back to Delphi the next day, yeah?
So, when I wake up,
yeah,
I want to check on dude in the old shack.
Yep.
One last time. Make sure he's still okay.
Everything's Gucci.
Everything's Gucci, okay. And we never really like went over this way back, but the way that I think Ryujin sent his mom off after she died on those same shores I am now, was kind of like took like an old boat, kind of made a pyre, lit it on fire, and set it out, basically.
Yeah, Viking funeral.
Yeah. And just, kind of like a mixture of like Greek and burial by sea, like fire.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. So I'm gonna flip 2 gold into the sea, like in that same spot where we sent her out, and I will teleport back to what is hopefully still my pool room in Sunbrown Inn.
Go ahead and roll a D100.
Why should there just be like spears in the water? I'm about to die. Um, 91.
91, yeah. So you do appear back in your boat, or in your pool room, but it's upon leaving that room that you discover that everything else has changed.
Does the room still look like the same? So do I like come in and I'm like, all right, everything's still cool. Okay.
Yes and no. Like the pool is still full and it's still there. What does strike you as odd in this room is that like you see some piles of clothing on the side. Like you get the sense that whoever's in this building now uses this as just like a pool to relax in. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, upon leaving the room.
Well, I'm gonna be sneaky when I see the clothes.
Sure.
I'm gonna be like, imagine like John Wick checking corners, but with a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I mean
You know what I mean?
it's challenging because as soon as you open the door, like there's a ton of people in this house.
Oh.
But you do see like they all have the symbol that you saw on that little boy that was hung.
Can I grab one person really quick and just like bring them into the room and just like question them?
You grab one person, and you grab Paloma.
Paloma, I'm gonna shut the door. I shut the door, and I take the hood back, and I take off the helmet. I'm like, holy shit! I'm gonna like pinch her cheeks to be sure.
Ow! Fuck! Ow!
Sorry, I just had to make sure it's little. How long has it been?
Paloma gives you the whole spiel, brings you to Cora. You get all up to date on everything.
So, have you heard from Trinity?
We talk to her every now and then.
Can anyone here cast Sending? And that knows, try it.
I can.
Is it Adagio?
Adagio walks into the room.
Adagio?
I want to I want to look at Cora and be like, why didn't no one tell me you were awake? Why didn't no one tell me?
He wasn't in the. I don't.
I hate the detour. I'm sorry. I just got here. Literally just got back, like the pool. Which, by the way, is not a fucking pool to relax. Thank you very much. Anyway,
Whatever that means.
yeah, can you send a message to try it?
Yeah, I heard every now and again. Yo. Try. I got you on the side.
Could you just say, I'm so sorry I didn't reach out before everything went down. There wasn't any time. I love you. I hope you're doing well. I will be there soon to catch up. Expect me within the day.
The day.
Maybe with the Dodger.
Leave me here in Delphi by myself after being.
I said, maybe with the Dodger. We'll see.
Oh, I have responsibilities to the city now. Please. You know, I can use a vacation. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Okay, let's send 25 words.
Sure. So, Ryujin and Adagio, you have 2 weeks. What would you like to do?
Well, so Honora, Ilme, and Adagio have the 3 sending stones. We still have all our gear.
Did I take one or did I leave it before? I thought I was just using it.
Yeah, you were just using it. Cora still has it, but in the time that has passed, Paloma has been able to connect 1 more stone to that network.
Oh, awesome.
I don't talk it. Good reason because I want to be.
Yeah, I'll take that. Cool. And I'm gonna. Okay, cool. We'll be back maybe in a couple hours, maybe a day. I message you. You message me if you need anything. We've got the stones. Maybe you have one. I don't know. We're gonna go check on our crew. I'll see you shortly. And I'm gonna grab Adagio.
Responsibilities. Rude. If there's like grease to work onion, I'm just gonna leave the drip flow so that people can still bask in the.
You can give it to Lathos.
Oh shit, Lathos! I totally forgot. I'm gonna wait for Lathos. Would you like to meet my sister?
Okay.
Who do I leave this with now?
I'll take it. Cora just takes the drip glove.
Would you like to meet my sister?
Yeah.
Means.
All right, and yeah, if you guys have all your business taken care of, I'll try to teleport us with the 3rd and final charge of the day to.
Well, it's been another day.
Oh right, okay,
Yeah.
so I gotta roll for that.
I mean, we can also say that you could take it several days if you want it to fully charge. Like, it's totally up to you.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try to take us to our ship.
All right. It's challenging because you've never actually been on this ship.
I feel like I would have okay, actually, since I can't cast teleport without helm, but I'm familiar with the spell through the helm, would I have been able to maybe have them? Would I be familiar with the type of teleportation circle they would have put on the ship? Because I feel like that would have been something we would have done.
There was not a teleportation circle put on the
Okay,
ship.
what if I talk to Chaya about where she is in the world and see if she can go somewhere we're familiar to?
Can I interject?
What's that?
When we had the ship made, we did tell the bosun to save the hammer that he made the ship with.
It's true.
If he knew, he could have given it to somebody, and they do know where our bodies are.
I will say this is essentially like a viewed once type familiarity. So there's a 25% chance that you get there no problem.
Okay.
That's
Can we ask Trya where she is? Trya, where you at?
Yeah. Currently, Trya is off the coast of Odyssia, which is one of the Isles of Ilium. Odyssia.
Yes. Oh, holy fucking shit. Okay.
Oh, her.
So okay.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, have I been to Sunrise before?
No.
I like visited it, right? You like when Apollo, yes, to the
Oh, yes. Yes. When you visited Apollo, you were visiting sunrise. That's true. Technically, that was sunset, actually, but yes.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. No. When you have it sunset, if it was midnight, yeah, I guess he would be over there.
Yeah.
That's weird.
How long would it take for them to get to Spear Point?
Oh.
If the waters are good, maybe a month or so.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Never mind. Listen, I can risk it for the biscuit.
Wait, what about a Demigods? Seems like he can't like do anything for us.
Like what?
I don't know what clerics can do at that level.
Wait, didn't I keep a piece of wood from the ship when it was being built? I could have sworn I said that I kept like a piece of wood so we could get back to it. Because that's how the helm works. If I have a piece of it, I can get there without risk. That's why I was picking up pieces from everywhere.
You know what? Sure.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Let's say
'Cause I did the
yes,
same thing
because
with the Virgin Islands.
yes, you're
That's why I
right.
was able to.
You're right.
Okay.
So yes, you have a little plank of wood that you
Yeah.
hope was also put
I
on the
just have
ship.
A bunch of random materials.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll take all three of us to.
The Ark of Fate.
Yes.
So, you appear on the main deck of what is the largest ship that any of you have ever been on. In fact, as you learn from spending a bit of time with this crew, it is very possibly the largest ship on Poseidon's oceans. It is huge, and you get a deck by deck tour of this ship. So the main deck features 2 mangonels as well as the sails and that sort of thing. Up front you have a ballista, and in the back you have a ballista with where the wheel is. There's storage areas. There's an enormous captain's quarters. On the deck below is where all the cannons are. Unlike the orientation of the cannons on the Tromocrates, which is 3 on the left, 3 on the right, or port and starboard, this ship is actually organized so that there's 2 starboard, 2 port, 1 stern, and 1 aft. So there's essentially 1 that's right under the figurehead and 1 that's facing directly behind, so that wherever the ship is oriented, there's always a cannon that can fire.
What was the figurehead again? Was it a hand or?
The figurehead, Trias says that she actually changed from what it was going to be, and she hopes you don't mind. But you see the figurehead, it looks like a stone sea hag is hanging on to the front of the ship.
Hell yeah, I like it.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
How old is she?
I'm just.
Tria's about 17 now.
I'm gonna give Tria a massive hug, just like bear squeeze, hear the back crack and everything.
Yeah, and you see like Tria has changed a bit. She's matured. You see, I mean, when you met her, her hair was brown. After she was kidnapped by Thalassia and used in that ritual that attempted to sort of drain her life energy, her hair turned shock white. Now it seems to be a bit more of a mix. Her brown hair has largely returned, but there are still large sections of white that have sort of given her a somewhat attractive, unique look. In the time since you've seen her, she's also changed a bit more about herself. Her eyebrows now have several piercings on them. She wears a beautiful blue captain's coat. On her wrists, you can see the faint markings of a tattoo that snakes up her arms until it's covered by the coat. She looks good. She looks confident. She looks like the captain of one of the most fearsome ships in the Trident Sea.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will just, I guess, ask for an update, see how things have been going. And we're not far from Apple's Folly, right?
That is true. You're a hop, skip, and a jump.
How long would it take us to get to Apple's Folly?
Wait, I didn't want to pay for this whole adventure.
And have you been to Apple's Folly?
The ship has not been to Apple's Folly. To actually get to Apple's Folly from Odysseia, it's not very far at all. If waters are good, it's probably about 2 weeks journey.
Okay.
But you also have no idea what is waiting for you on that island.
Yeah. Okay. So everything is good. You don't like you know. I guess. Yeah, I know you've been like helping out with like trade routes, stuff like that. How are you? You look different. You got piercings. Your hair. You look good.
I feel good. I mean, all things considered, the seas are not good. Poseidon has his work cut out for him. Dark creatures are rising. It's not fun, but it's fucking fun to be the captain of a ship, especially this ship. This ship is beautiful.
How's the crew? Are they
the crew is great. We get along great. Cassandra was with us for a while to help sort of get them in shape, but now we're just allied with the most powerful ship in the world.
How is Cassandra?
She's actually doing exactly what we're doing. She's helping with trade routes. Cassandra's ship and our ship are the two ships potentially most qualified to do what we're doing right now.
Fair. Okay.
Do you have any news on Oceanus?
That lake, anything like that?
Yes and no. I don't know what is going on with Oceanus's link, but whatever it is, it's either already happened or it's actively happening. But these dark creatures don't just get more active for no reason.
Okay. And I want to take everyone, all four of us demigods aside and say, I was visited last night again by trouble projects. Basically, the first thing I did when I woke up was I vamped back to Shorax, where I spent most of my childhood. And when I fell asleep that night, they basically, when I was asleep, basically said that they tried to recruit me again. I told them to fuck off, and I'm gonna fry them from calamari. And they said they are going to basically, they have a plan. It's going to be coming first really soon and see me on the battlefield. So, look, just be careful. If you guys need extra defenses, meet up with, Cassandra, if you need to get anything else you need, extra ammunition, stuff for repairs, recruit extra crew, but be careful because there's a lot of sketchy people, but we are going to need to get to Apple's Folly very soon.
You tell me and we'll go as soon as you're ready.
Okay. Just be safe. Maybe meet up with the, Tromocrates for extra support if you need to, because no offense, this is a really nice ship, but the actual Tromocrates is...
Yeah. Well aware.
Yeah. Just be on the safe side. I highly recommend meeting up with the other ship or something along those lines. Just be safe. We'll keep in contact. If you need anything, send a message to Adagio or Cora if Adagio doesn't respond. There's a lot that's going to be happening really soon. But that being said, Lathos, this is my sister. Treya, this is Lathos.
Hi. Hey, I like your dreads. It's good to see you, brother.
So what are you have any life updates? You got any big news, nothing like that? What kind of stuff is happening in your life?
Listen, what happens in the sea stays in the sea,
What do you mean? What happens? So what's that supposed to mean? Hold on.
I've met a lot of
1 second.
I've met a lot of new people through Cora and through the 100 Hands, and some of them are pretty hot.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Just because it feels right. That's not terrible. Insight is +1. 16.
16 minus like 2 or 3 since you're a few days.
14.
Yeah. She's she's definitely like being shy about it. There's definitely someone in her life.
Can I just like put my arm around her neck and
Yeah.
just like kind of walk a few steps away? Like,
Yeah.
is there? You know something?
Like it's nothing serious. We see each other every few months, and you know it's nothing crazy.
Oh, you can talk to me. I'm not gonna, you know.
I mean, I think you know him. I don't want to make it weird.
Who is it? You're not gonna make it weird, are you kidding?
Okay, his name is Eric's. He's super hot.
No.
Baby, why is it every time you give Honora any form of a love interest, they either want to use Honora or end up with someone else? Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Listen, you guys were dead for 6 months. Stuff happens.
Why are you like this? Let me have this one thing.
I do know Eric's that. Yeah, I mean,
He's changed. He said that he used to be a dick, but a lot has changed for him.
yeah, he was a dick, but he was kind of like one of the like. He was alright, you know. I didn't think he was that bad. He kind of made some like bad decisions, but you know, I mean, I never.
He's grown a lot. He's very noble. And
No.
yeah, he's noble.
What does he do nowadays? He's not playing music anymore, is he?
I think he's going around and playing music and sort of livening up people's lives, but I think he also just like does whatever the Hundred Hands needs him to do. He's all over the place.
Oh my god.
Listen, if you need like extra support and that's one of the people you call, that's okay. You know, you're almost an adult now. You can have relationships. I'm not gonna like lord that over you. I'm not gonna be a dick. You know, you're basically your own person now. I'm proud of you for you. It seems like you've been doing really well in our absence. And once again, I am so terribly sorry that I wasn't able to contact you. Time was running very short, and we didn't have a whole lot of options and ways of communication. It was a whole shit show mess. 6 months have passed. We were only there for like a week. Shit's nuts. I'm sorry.
It's
Anyway,
okay.
Do you
Listen.
or Anemios know of any oracles? Question mark dot dot dot.
Anemio speaks up. He's like, well, there are lesser oracles, and I know there's one that I'm aware of in Athens, not nearly as powerful as the Oracle of Delphi, but has a gift.
Or like someone explain the situation to him and be like, you wouldn't know where.
Well, lucky for you, you have an in with King Theseus.
Yes.
She is his personal oracle, the oracle for the crown. If you are in Athens, I'm sure he can introduce you.
Oof, I know where I'm going next. And then, Chaya, what was it like meeting your dad?
You know, it was a lot.
So you're a princess, or you're not taking the title, or what happened?
You know, we've discussed it. Obviously, there's not much of a need for a coronation or anything while the world is shit. But hey, if we do what we're trying to do and we bring the world back into order, then I'm not opposed to being a princess. But I like being the captain of this ship. The Ark is a beautiful piece.
Did you guys
Of
make
artistry.
any like secret little hiding holes, cubbies, anything like that? Like we had originally planned. We didn't get to like say where they are, but I imagine we might have tried to do something like that. You know, you said
We have, and have you seen the training deck?
sick. No.
The training?
She brings you down past the rower deck. There is a fully, like, completely empty deck that is just filled with training supplies. Like, there is like a fighting pit with sand. There are dummies. There are archery targets. It's like a gym, but a huge gym that's taking up the entire deck of a ship.
And who's the bosun again?
The bosun is, I don't have his name on. I don't remember which one he is. Rowan, is Rowan the bosun?
I think it was the ferret one.
Yes, Rowan.
Okay. So I want to get Rowan and try out, and it's one of the last things I want to do on the ship is I want to say, I mean, from the knowledge I have of Tromokrates, right? Is it just like standard, like wrap tongue around the ship, trying to squish it while like attacking it and stuff?
That would be a normal Kraken. Tromokrates specifically has a different, he goes for islands. He just devours pieces of land.
Okay.
If he wants to destroy a ship, then yes, he would. That is how he would do it. But in general, that's too small of game for him.
Okay. Well, just to be safe, I want to basically suggest them maybe like around the lining of the railing, nothing that's underwater, but maybe around the edge of like the top deck of the ship. We could put like spears or spikes or something in case it decides to wrap around, so it'll maybe hurt itself. Maybe it'll be less likely to do that. I don't know. I just wanted to throw some ideas out there to try and help with like naval combat, ship battle, all that stuff in case they attack. Also, take your hands one more time.
Yeah.
All right, squeeze a little tight this time. Hurts you. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the sea.
What?
I'm trying to get to the bottom of the sea. Watch the lungs.
Okay. Well, it was really great having you on board.
I miss you a lot. All right, we're gonna get going. Be safe.
All right.
I'm basically threatening your love life if you decide to be a
So,
okay, that's basically
how are you? There's about a week and a half left before anything else happens. So how are you spending these last few weeks?
I mean, me personally, once we get back to Delphi, I'll probably try and help Court any way I can.
Sure.
Wait, so what's the plan? Are we heading back to Drachmae and then you're teleporting us
I'm
to...
also gonna try and push Alexios's lid off just a bit so we can get a good hand grip
Sure.
slide the thing, because I feel like that'd be really annoying.
Yeah.
And just help out any way I can.
You got it.
Try to reclaim my room that is a pool that is where people relax.
You got it. Alexios.
Well,
Oh, sorry, Adagio, go ahead.
I just wanted to message Ilme.
Sure.
I know, did we say the Eyes of Gaia were working with the cult of Tiamat?
It's unclear. It's possible that some sects are working together, but as like an organization, it's not like they're not the same organization.
I just wanted to, like, if Ilme could find information on where Phoebe and the cult are, that'd be great.
Sure.
That was also something I wanted to know. Also, if I could.
Yeah.
I didn't know how long I needed to be in the Eyes of Gaia, but if possible, I was gonna go and infiltrate the cult of Tiamat as well. If that's
Okay, that one is harder to do, only because most of the cult of Tiamat are Dragonborn, but not all. So it is possible for you to do. I will say they are harder to track down. While the Eyes of Gaia have sort of like claimed towns and cities, the cult of Tiamat largely exist in the shadows, in the wilderness, and they come and they strike and they leave. So it's a bit harder, but not impossible. It's more of a question of if you want to abandon your Eyes of Gaia undercover work, or if you want to stay with it. What are you doing?
well, so I feel like I've probably gotten most of the information that I possibly can from the Eyes of Gaia, and I wanted to also figure out what the cult of Tiamat's doing because I knew they had a link.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I will say, Sammy, just one thing I did. Forget that I was gonna do. I was gonna try and go to the library again, ask around, see if anybody had any information about the horn on Apple's Folly. Well, that I assume is on Apple's Folly, or anything about Apple's Folly. I know I've done that before, but I just wanted to quickly go over that again.
Yeah, there's not a ton of new info. The Horn of Humanities is like a mythical object that is like, it's unclear if it existed at all. Apple's Folly is a largely uninteresting, unimportant island that is only it's home to a Fort Helen, which was like the last fort in Grecian territory before heading to Troy. But other than that, like since the Trojan War, it's nothing exciting has particularly happened there.
And that island is still there. It hasn't been attacked by properties, right?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did it.
Yeah.
Would that island be too big?
I mean, he wouldn't be able to do it in one bite.
Mm.
Ilmay, what'd you get?
An 18.
18. So you do manage to infiltrate a sect of the cult of Tiamat that specifically centers around the green dragon. The goal is always of all of these sects to recombine Tiamat, but mostly they're separated into like they follow a particular ancient dragon. What you get from your relatively short time with this group as opposed to with the Eyes of Gaia is that this group in particular does not have the Link of Tartarus, but that they do have more of a network between their groups than the Eyes of Gaia does. And that it seems like whatever group has the link, which that information is extremely secret that you don't manage to get in time, whatever group has the link has made an alliance with the link, and the link is helping them locate the other scales that they would need to resurrect Tiamat.
And then would I know if they got the scale from...
They got the black scale.
No, I was gonna ask that too.
Yeah, they got the black scale.
Okay. But do I know if they have any others?
It does not seem like they do. But it seems like they are closer than they've ever been, and they are excited at that prospect.
And do they have any idea, would I be able to figure out where they think some of the scales are?
That is like inner circle stuff. It's mostly like orders coming down of like, hey, your group, shift to be within a day of this city, shift to be within a day of this city. It's all very need to know, which is hard to get to that level of clearance with this amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alexios, you wake up in a tomb that is slightly ajar. What are you doing?
I'm gonna reach up, open up the tomb if I can,
Yep.
and look around.
You see a marble area with 4 other empty tombs, and there's a door that is closed, but doesn't seem to be locked, leading out.
So I'm just gonna look at the other 4 empty tombs and go, fuck. Walk to the door. See if it's hostile outside, I guess.
You open the door. There is someone standing guard outside the door, who is not hostile, and very quickly is like, I know you're overwhelmed. You don't know what's going on right now. I'm an ally. I'm a friend of Korra. I'm a friend of the Hands of Fate. I'm here. I was waiting for you to come back to life. I'm supposed to bring you to the Society of the 100 Hands to get you up to speed.
Thank you. But that is someone who would want to have me killed, would say also?
I know Forge.
Everybody knows Forge.
Listen, you don't have to believe me, but I'm gonna go tell them that you're alive.
I'm gonna go with you to make sure you don't do anything weird.
Totally fair. So he goes to what you know as Sunbrow Manor, which is now the home base of the Society of the 100 Hands, where Korra is able to get you up to speed with everything.
Instantly ticked off by everybody being in the house. When she's done recounting, it's like the expression on Alexios' face is if like your kid said their first word, but their first word was fuck. You've done a really great job. I mean, we asked you to do something and you like took it to the extreme.
Forge is so happy to see you, by the way.
Oh yes. Yes, there's a crying fit there. But my kitchen.
It's
What did you do to
we have been using it heavily, but it's
Wait. And he just gives her a look. And he takes off towards where he thinks his room was.
your room with the forge. As you come in, It is a full forge work area. Paloma is there with goggles on, at work at the forge. As the door opens, she turns and like just drops the tool that she's holding. You can see that she has been hard at work trying to live up to the expectations that you've set.
Nice.
If she's coming towards him, I would like to think he just drops to his knees and just says, "Thank you for not letting them get my forge.
Oh my god, fuck no.
Thank you."
All right,
Got my
so
damn pool.
Cora does come following you, and she's like, should I let the rest of your party know you're back?
Are they doing anything important? Are they here?
They're sort of scattered. Some are here. Reogen and Lathos and Adagio are all in the city. Anura, I have contact with
The
Anura.
OG crew is in the city.
Wait,
Yes.
my mother?
She is safe. She has actually moved to Gildor.
What? I didn't see
With Adagio's mom?
Is looking after her, yes.
that. Nice.
Okay. That's good.
We're like brothers now.
Uh, the others. I don't think I'll tell anyone who isn't here. If they're doing something important, I think I'll recoup before I let them know.
Of course, take your time.
Are the others close?
We can get them here. We have powerful friends.
I mean, if they're in the city,
Some are. Anura is not. Ilme is undercover currently with the cult of Tiamat.
oh,
Things have changed.
yeah. The link. You got to that, but you know what? Do you have? If they run into me, I'll run into them. Just give me a couple of days to recoup. I think I need to piece this information together.
Of course. So you have whatever time you'd like. It's now been collectively about a year since you all have died.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I would, if we have like the sending stone, I would send out a message on the fourth day.
Okay.
But leading up to that, I would kind of try to do, I don't know, like organizing stuff. I would suggest to Cora that we try to organize the 100 Hands more, like put people in chart, just structure.
Yeah, and I will say that in those 4 days and throughout the last few weeks for Adagio and Region, anyone else in the city, the war room in Sunbrow Manor has been heavily utilized, and you can see a full map of Gaia with like little like pieces to represent 100 Hands and to represent Eyes of Gaia and other sort of like just so that any new information they can have is arranged somewhere on this map. I will also say that people come in and out through here. This is sort of the home base of the 100 Hands. So there are people that you meet as they stop by and leave on their various missions. You as well as Adagio and Ryujin and Lathos, over the course of however much time you're spending, you meet some other demigods as well.
Can I?
Yeah.
Could I recruit Alexios and maybe the Black Ant Twins to help split the Minotaur's axe and make 2 smaller great axes?
Curious point of order there. You bring those people together, and it very quickly becomes apparent that whatever powerful magic exists in this axe, it is beyond mortal capabilities to split it.
I see.
Wait, so what would it take for one of us to use it?
It is way too big for one of you guys to wield.
That's like the size of
Like, well, shrink or enlarge. But if we shrunk it,
Yeah, I mean, if you shrunk it, you could wield it while it was shrunk, sure. But you can't permanently shrink it.
Spell that you can cast in 5
If you cast the same spell for a year,
oh no.
yeah,
I don't
Okay,
like.
so we would need like the bestest.
basically, yeah, basically.
Okay.
I could
Well, I guess we'll hang it up in the war room.
Chop, chop, chop. Is there anything special about it? Like,
You can tell it's magical.
but like if like I wanted to use it, would it have anything like?
Probably, yeah.
So can I have like over the course of time, Alexia shrink it down so I can like practice with it just to see if it does anything wicked?
You can. You definitely get the sense from it that while it is incredibly powerful, you have yet to like unlock its true potential.
I will also be. I would like to like offer my assistance to Alexios in any way, shape, or form that they need, with helping organize or putting in extra legwork or anything like that. Because I mean, aside from the seeing triad, researching as much as I can, there's not a whole lot else that I think we're
Yeah,
gonna be
no
doing.
problem.
Hey,
What?
I can use these.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah.
What else?
And you also meet a bunch of new people. Specifically, someone that you see fairly often as she comes in and out is a demigod named Krisa. Krisa is a child of Dionysus. She is striking. She has lavender war paint that she wears like smeared across her eye line. Her eyes themselves are lined with this like deeper purple eyeliner that brings out the unnatural purple irises of her eyes. And the purple around her eyes also mimicked in her lipstick as well, giving her entire face a fierce but undoubtedly beautiful appearance. She's
I'd like
blonde.
to approach this individual.
Sure, yeah.
I'd like to counter approach it.
We both approach this individual.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better. Be the
Well,
blood.
I'm just, you know,
Wait, is this not good?
you know what I'm saying?
I'm dead. Can I wingman him?
We're gonna say, for the purposes of this, that you've managed to easily make a fool of yourself in front of this beautiful woman. But not only because of, but also because you quickly find out that she is telepathic and she can read your thoughts. Which actually, point of order, Adagio, through meeting her and talking to her a bit, you find out that not only is her father Dionysus, but her mother was a lesser oracle. And that's where she gets her sort of natural telepathic power.
Is your mother? Because you said one. I was like, oh.
No, yeah, she's alive. She's alive.
Oh, can I meet her? I mean, I know the first day meeting your parents is weird, but
She does say that she'd be happy to introduce you when the time is right. That's perfectly fine.
Time is right.
But all that being said, Alexios, you have enough time to get fully back to full health. Everyone is now alive. What are you guys doing?
I am
On the day?
spinning some game.
Wait, on the days leading up, can I try to can I try to figure out from Cora how far or how long would it take to like have an excavation like in the divine on the divine battlefield, basically to look for like dragons do?
You would know that the divine battlefield is filled with incredibly powerful monsters, and that the actual like excavating the divine battlefield wouldn't be the hard part. The hard part would be surviving.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would. So. So do we do are like the identities of like the main people of the Eyes of Gaia like known now?
Not really, because there isn't really like a main people to know. Besides, like, there are some just famous names that are now associated with the Eyes of Gaia. The biggest among them is the Emperor of Xander, Emperor Ilvisar Gilro, and a lot of his inner circle belong to the Eyes of Gaia. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are like in charge of the Eyes of Gaia. They're just some of the highest profile people in it. It's like Tom Cruise in Scientology. He's not in charge of Scientology, but he is the biggest name associated with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said we met multiple new demigods?
Yes, you did.
The lightning chasers too?
You do eventually meet the Lightning Chasers, yes. You had heard that there were 3 of them. You only meet 2. And you learn from them that is because while they were on their mission that ended up with them collecting a link, one of them fell.
Which one?
His name was Tichios. He was also a son of Zeus. All 3 of them are children of Zeus, but the 2 that are remaining are twins, and he was the one that was not related to them. But this is a boy-girl twin. The girl's name is Dardania. She has distractingly beautiful eyes, electric blue and shining. She has red hair that falls in coils down her back. She wears a sophisticated purple cloak with golden accents. She also has a golden choker necklace around her neck with a glowing gem in its center. Her brother is very different. He has the same red hair, though his is tied back in a messy bun out of his face. But that's largely where the resemblance stops. He does not share his sister's electrifying blue eyes. His are a much more muted light brown. He wears robes of green cloth tied in such a way around himself that it resembles some sort of uniform. He has a thin but muscular frame. His feet are bare, and you can see that they're heavy calloused. He carries a large staff with him, and you can see the occasional spark of electricity coming off of that staff, and you can tell it's a very powerful magical item. From speaking with them, you learn a few things about them. Primarily that Dardania's power is sourced from Zeus. Her magic is innate in her being, and it was like a birth gift from Zeus. But Iasus, her brother, did not receive the same gift. And so he took a very different path in life. And anything that is Zeus related or storm related or anything like that is very it's artificial. He has learned through practice how to produce some of those similar effects, whereas his sister's able to just do it naturally.
Could I? You said the sister's name is what?
Dardania.
Dardania?
Yeah.
I feel like Ryujin. I mean, okay, so Ryujin knows that he's a warlock.
Yeah.
But it's basically what it sounds like to him is that okay, like they could be a warlock from birth. So.
Sure.
Like
But you exist in this world. You would know that sorcerers are a thing that exists.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's basically just warlock from birth without a pact. That's really it.
Yeah, or like a wizard without the books. Yeah.
Also, before I forget,
Yeah.
I would ask for to like locate the strongest like magic user who can use plane shift.
That would be
Wow.
Arcanist Zenophodel. Ayla.
We're gonna need him when we all get together.
All right, I can tell him to come to Delphi as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Listen, Sammy, I'm gonna be honest with you first.
Yeah.
Right? Ryujin basically went to hell and has never had a romantic interest in his entire life.
Yeah.
So that is like subtly coming to the surface. You know what I mean?
Sure. Listen, there's a lot of beautiful women around you. Cora is beautiful.
Yeah.
Dardania, Creesa.
Forget the women. I want the twin boy.
Honestly, Dardania, I think Ryujin would try to like be charismatic.
After the session, I'll send you guys their minis, and then you can decide who you want your love interest to be.
Love interest. Drachmae is dating an old love interest.
Hey, Anora, you were on the road with Tekalis and Vanix for a long time. And either of them could be your love interest if you want.
I'm just saying, it's really funny to me.
Dardania, a sorcerer. Isis, some sort of monk.
Yes, he's a monk.
And then Krisa.
Krisa, I didn't get to finish her description. So I will now. So yes, she has that striking face. She has blonde hair tied into an intricate bun behind her. She has a bizarre headpiece that you've never seen before. It covers both her ears and connects over her forehead, making some like bizarre angles along the way. And you can see two glowing gemstones attached to one side of it, pulsating with energy. You learn from talking with her that this is a way for her to sort of channel her natural telepathic abilities. She was a practical blouse with pieces of armor strapped to the outside of it, and she has 3 different swords on her person. She has one strapped to her back and one on each hip. You learn from spending some time with her that she is a very gifted fighter.
These are all the demigods we meet.
Yes. I mean, I will say you will have also, as they've come in and out, you would have also met Teclis and Vanix, the 2 that traveled with Anura. And every now and then, Eric's pops in.
Oh my god, Eric.
Yeah. He's looking good. And I will say, the only change really...
Eric's every time.
Yeah, he has a new instrument. He has a harp that he straps to his back. And I will also say, from talking with Eric's, it's a bit surprising to find that he's part of this. When you last left him, he was on a quest to go kill Aphrodite. But he tells you that he did manage to get back to Aphrodite when all of that went down, when the sun died, when the flame died. And he essentially was able to make a deal with Aphrodite instead, that she would gift him some more power, and in exchange he would not kill her, and if he's able to bring the world back into order and save everything that's happening right now, that she would not only reverse the curse that she had put on him, she would also bring back his eye and bring him boons aplenty. So he has changed his tune.
So he's a warlock now, or?
He is multi-class as warlock, yeah. Yeah.
Now I feel like he's going to lifelong quest to sleep with Ryujin.
And just so you know, just to metagame a bit here of like what all these people's classes are. Korra is a multi-classed warlock rogue. Neriana, who's the one undercover in the Eyes of Gaia, is a paladin. Lathos, you know, is a barbarian. Traea is a multi-class druid cleric. Eryx, you know, is a bard that is now multi-class into warlock. Dardania is a sorcerer. Isis is a monk. Teclis is a ranger. Krisa is a fighter. And Vanix is a wizard.
What level is Eric's multi-class into Warlock?
He has 4 levels of warlock.
Are we?
Those are rookie numbers. He needs to bump those numbers up.
Are we like the strongest amongst the demigods?
You are. You are not that much stronger than everyone else, but you are stronger than them. Yeah.
My lightning bolt could body half of these individuals.
Alexios?
Can I find out from Cora what happened with Kinarang?
Oh, right.
Yes. Kenarang is also in such deep cover that even Korra does not know where she is.
Oh, she leveled up too.
Yeah.
Like, before everyone, I think it's like 4 days until you recoup
Yeah.
when you get back.
Yeah.
On the 4th day, I guess I would use a sending stone to contact whoever has a sending stone now.
Which is Anura and Ilme, the 2 that aren't here.
Didn't Ryujin take the third one?
Ryujin's in the city.
Doesn't Lola make 4 technically? There's
Yes,
4
there are 4 that are connected. But Korra is keeping 1 so that she can still have
okay.
1. Yeah.
So yeah. Alexios can use 1 more.
Yeah.
And I guess I try to coordinate like when we'd all be getting there, but I kind of have like I kind of have like a CIA presentation deal type going with the threads. And
Sure. So I will
information
say,
that I
as part of the messages that Ilmay and Anora receive, part of that message is, if you need extraction, that can be provided.
yes.
So Alar will come and essentially pick you guys up over the next few days.
And I forgot to ask.
I've got the helm.
That's true.
Does Cora know anything about the refraction?
Let's find out.
Oh man.
Like, is that a source that
Cora knows very little. But she does remember Kenarang mentioning that name before she went undercover.
And did they were they based in the same place that they mentioned to us, or
She knows very little. That's really all she knows.
so Kenarang is finding that information by themselves?
Essentially. Maybe.
Holy shit. Okay.
Before, right? I can message them.
It's true.
Yeah, and you're in Delphi still, right?
Yeah. I guess
I'd ask you to do that. Yeah. I'd ask you to do that. I sent the message right now. Can you try and get in touch with Kenny?
Push a message to Kenny.
All right.
Please tell me you're still alive and have information from Itadashio, who's alive right now.
You hear there's a pause, and then you hear a cough, and you just hear a voice, a foreign voice that you have never heard before go, "Shut the fuck up. Don't contact me."
I'm dead. Can I do it telepathically?
No.
Ah.
So over the next few days, the group gathers. And Nora, I will also say that in that time you could have gotten the desert habitat as well. So Ilmay, you are pulled out of your deep cover with Tiamat.
I'm praying to the side. Just like general news update. Sorry to interrupt. I forgot to do. I'm just forgetting a lot. I'm sorry.
All right. So all of you are back in Delphi. Alar is there. He is willing to plane shift you. First of all, who is going and what are you doing? Because you have lots of allies that could go with you, or it could be the 5 of you. It's totally up to you.
Okay, wait. Plane shift for what again? I totally missed something.
I believe plane shift to go break Hephaestus out of his egg.
Yeah.
Us can go. How many can you plane shift?
I believe 8. Yeah, I believe it's 8.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Should we have a whole party go, or should we split up? I mean, splitting the party usually is good, but I don't know.
Well,
But do we all need to know about this, or is it just Alexios at this point?
No, you're all back together. You're all back together.
if only Hephaestus knows about this place, then a few of us going should be okay. But I also feel like we shouldn't split the party any more than we already have. And we can take
Splitting the party might not be a good idea.
I'll take you all. It doesn't matter. We're family.
We'll bring Lathos with us because he might as well be official. I
I didn't say Lathos. Lathos is one of us. What's wrong?
Lathos is one of us. Lathos is sleep. He might as well come with us.
No.
Lathos came back from hell with us.
Okay,
all right?
I will say,
My bad.
I will say,
Oh my god.
as far as
It's my
it
parents'
goes,
house,
going, it might make sense for him to stay here since things had been so up in the air with Hades before.
Well, he might as well be somewhere where he's
I
protected.
mean, I guess it would also be better for protection of the organization that we now find ourselves a part of. But I can't remember the name. It's 100 Hand some.
The Society of the 100 Hands.
Society of 100 Hands.
Huh?
It's up to you guys. Majority rules, I think. I don't mind either way.
I think it should just be us.
No, I said, how did you come up with it?
I like it.
I came up with a sun that was also a bunch of people grabbing a link of Tartarus.
I'm done.
So 12 Olympians, 12 hands.
It's not actually 12. It's I think it's like 14 or 15, something like that. The number was never part of the equation.
I
I thought the number was going to be a place.
So,
No.
are we going to leave Lathos behind to like help look after everything?
That's totally fine.
At this point, I'm impartial. It's up to you guys.
Shouldn't we at least bring someone smarter than us?
Lathos is not smarter than you. Oh.
I don't think we can take Cora away from
Yeah,
this.
I will say, even if you ask for us, she would politely decline.
I think this is one of those things.
I'm gonna flower on Alexios and just prepare.
I think this needs to be us. We were the ones who were there when it happened. We were the first people Alexios told.
It's our fuck up and we should fix it.
Yeah.
I agree.
My fuck.
Let's do this.
Did we find nothing from Kenai dying?
I would say in the time that you've been back, you could have gone to the tower. It has been like stripped clean. You do manage to get all the way back to the chamber where the ritual happened. There are vines everywhere, and there is nothing remaining of Kenai. Yeah.
Oh, did the dude that I was traveling with, who's the son of Demeter, did he manage to get in contact with his mom at all?
Vanix. Yes, they did.
Yes, I couldn't remember which was which.
They did manage to send the message to Demeter, who was hopeful, but also wanted proof, concrete proof, and it is still Persephone doing this, even if Persephone is not the one behind it. And so until everything is resolved, Persephone's still in danger. Demeter is like accepting of the new information, but nothing has changed for her yet.
If we bring back the sun and the flame, hopefully she'll think things are going better finally.
Let's do this.
All right. Alar touches Alexios and he just goes like, "I'll be honest. I hope this works. I've never. We'll give it a go." He holds on to all of you and casts plane shift. You all appear in a place that's foreign to everyone except for Alexios. You are in a volcanic chamber with lava pouring from the ceiling onto the sides of these cavern walls. And in between each lava stream is an enormous dragon egg, each with runes on every scale and the holy symbol of a god in the center. Two of which you see active motion within these eggs. The gold egg that is marked with the symbol of Hephaestus, and the brass egg marked with the burning sun of Apollo. In the center of the room, you see Hephaestus's workstation, and there at that station is the golden hammer that Hephaestus uses in his forging.
Nice.
I'm just gonna like stand back with everybody and let Alexios just come out.
Yeah.
I want to put my hand on my egg. My egg.
I don't suggest it.
It feels warm to the touch. Yes, Alexios.
I'm gonna walk up to the desk as if in a trance.
Okay.
And as Adagio like touches his egg, I'm just gonna just try not to touch anything. I don't know what any of this does.
You see, in this trance-like state, Alexios sort of like stumbles in a weird gait to the central workstation of Hephaestus.
And it's almost like he develops a limp.
I will say, I never said there was a limp, okay?
That's just commonly accepted from Hephaestus. He was crippled because he was thrown from Mount Olympus.
Not in this continuity. He was crippled by getting scorched by all of Tiamat's breath weapons at once.
No.
Yeah.
Either way, he's crippled. Okay.
Yes, but Alexios is not.
And the other arm is like a twig.
Yeah, basically. All right, Alexios, what are you doing?
He takes the golden hammer off.
As you take the golden hammer in your hands, you feel it almost connect with your body. You can feel the power surging through you. Adagio, you look and see Alexios's irises have turned gold with possibility.
I think let me see. What am I missing?
And I'm gonna go towards Hephaestus's egg and smash it open.
Go ahead and make an attack roll and add 15.
15. Holy, I'm gonna
This is like
use
one of the earliest rolls right here.
Sneak attack damage, flank damage.
28.
28. A crack that resonates around the entire space as you see this crack. It's still solid, but you've definitely cracked it a bit.
Another one.
Again.
Encouragement.
Basically just a cheer team right now. Yeah, you got this.
Can I go like pat him on the back and give him guidance, give him a +4 to that +15?
Sure.
18 plus 15. 18 plus 15 plus 4 is 37.
Okay. Scales begin to fall off as it cracks and splinters.
Okay. Another one.
As you raise the hammer up for a third time, you see a claw come out of the egg and just clutch the outside. And these enormous golden claws begin to rip the egg from the inside. A colossal golden dragon stands before you. But unlike any golden dragon that you've seen pictures of, there is space between each of this dragon's scales. And in that space, you can see the arcane fire energy of this celestial god. It is both dragon and celestial. It is large, and it is undoubtedly the most beautiful creature you've ever seen in your life.
I'm gonna kneel, like, right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am too.
I take a step back. I put the hammer on the ground and I put my forehead on the floor just in front of the hammer. And I say, I'm sorry.
You see the dragon catches its breath and looks at all of you before focusing in on Alexios. Well, at least I found out it works.
I hate to interrupt you, but dragon now? Like, permanently?
All dragons can polymorph. It's okay.
Yes,
I mean, he's also a god, right?
I'm just wondering.
I am something new. But undoubtedly I am weaker in this form than I was before. But still, I am alive.
And maybe you can get your strength back. You know, you're just a
Can you
half-breed,
still be
right?
seen and worshipped the same way?
There's only one way to find out. But first, it appears I have a friend in need of help. And he opens his wings and flies across the room to the brass egg before latching onto it with all four arms and ripping it apart as this brass dragon, very similarly, the scales itself are separated and you see the radiant glow of the sun between these brass scales as these two enormous dragons that did not used to exist, these two former gods, now stand in this area with you both.
Okay, can I grab the Artemis connection item and immediately cast community? Go, he's back, can you sense it?
Adagio, the glow comes back to your skin.
Is it wrong for me to just grab him and hug his leg?
Yo, what if he kind of flies the sun as a dragon across the holy shit? I'm freaking out.
100%. I was serious. I am casting comedic.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm hugging my dad.
I just want to stare curiously at Poseidon's egg, but not that curious. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
Yeah, Poseidon's egg is made of what looks like bone or shell, but it's not moving. But it does exist.
This feels so good.
The two gods take their time to acclimate themselves to these new bodies. You see, they both like use a breath weapon out into the air just to like experience that sensation. Before eventually they do both polymorph into humanoid forms. Hephaestus looking whole, looking unblemished.
You're looking better than ever.
I offer him his hammer.
He goes to reach for it and hesitates just slightly, as if he's slightly worried that it won't quite work the same. Before he grabs it. Oh, it's good to be back. You, all of you, we owe you a debt of gratitude. Apollo goes, well, you are the reason we died in the first place, but...
Can I raise my hand and be like, I did try and protect you. I died doing that. But also, go see your sister. The moon is red, and it's weird when I try to talk to her. I feel grief and rage is not mine.
In time. But first...
She's very upset.
We owe you all a boon.
Holy shit! What? Sam, there's no way we have 3 total now. That's cap.
Hephaestus looks to you, Alexios. What is it you ask of me, son? There was a time where you wished for a weapon. It would be an honor to make you one, if that is still what you desire.
You just hear him make a high-pitched wail. Yes, please.
It will be done.
I'm happy.
And Apollo turns to you, Adagio. I've already given you a weapon, but I do not believe it is quite the weapon that you desire. Am I right?
Dude, I'm brown.
Perhaps my new dragon friend and I can make you something a bit more fitting.
I she got to fully awaken not underbrush, a
Redemption.
rejection. I was like, oh my god.
Hephaestus goes, well, what kind of weapons are we desiring?
I'm not even
Asking me?
Yes, of course.
Well,
Get a second gun.
I'm just gonna walk over to Ryuji and Mason. How's it going, guys?
Oh, just hanging. I'm just watching all this cool stuff go down. This is a pretty cool egg over here.
That's
I hope the one with the moon on it never has to be used.
Yeah, same.
I will also say, as Alexios and Adagio are thinking, Hephaestus turns and goes, there is one thing I can gift to you now. Something that I believe you have now earned, son. And he flies up to the lava pool above the ceiling and reaches a hand into the lava and pulls it out once more before landing on the ground and turning back into his humanoid form and approaching you, Alexios. This place, at one point, was private only to me. We are in a demiplane right now that is within the plane of Mechanus. No one but me has ever been here until now. Which is why I thought this was a safe hiding place for this. but the time for hiding is over.
Wait, I went out. What happened?
He's about to give you something.
Okay.
You should.
He reached into the lava pool. He reached into the lava pool at the top of the chamber, and has now said that no one has been in here besides him, which is why it was a safe place to hide this. But the time for hiding things is over, and he places in your hand a red dragon scale.
Oh. You trust me with this?
Put that shit back so people can't get to it.
You will need
Yeah.
you will need
Good
this,
job.
son. For yes, followers of Tiamat can use these scales to bring her back. But you know as well as I do, that is not all these scales can do.
Thank you.
Of course.
And for the weapon, would you be able to make me a set of short swords?
Of course.
I think I need to remind myself of who I was before this adventure. And these remind me of something, or they would.
It will be done. And you, Adagio,
Ooh. Oh.
what sort of weapon would you be interested in?
Well, I'm much more of a magic user, so weapons are kind of like bored. I can't have like a cool staffy staff that helps me with my, that I'm trying to oracle this, maybe like a focus or something.
This I can do with your father's help. It will take time. I am getting used to this new form. But we thank you. All of you.
When will we see the sun again?
As soon as I regain my strength.
And a FaceTime? I haven't seen him since I came back.
You know what?
I know little. Within that egg, I did not exist. Once I... A year is nothing on the cosmic scale. Once I regain my strength, I will return to the world and see what I have missed.
I want a cloak with like many fashions, his wings, like my cloak just to like match the pattern.
It looks like brass dragon wings. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So, if there's nothing else,
Wait, what are we supposed to do now?
Oh,
complete your mission.
We got a list.
Can we tell them everything that's happened so far?
What back, baby? Let's fucking go.
We
All
give
right.
the synopsis.
You give him the synopsis, and then Alar sends you back to Delphi,
Right.
and that is where we will
Can I
end
do
tonight's
something?
session. Oh yeah, sorry.
In the second we play shit back,
Yeah, yeah.
can I skywrite a huge symbol in the sky?
Sure.
So it's gonna be the symbol for the Society for 100 Hands,
Sure.
but in the middle of that circle is gonna be a big hand for the hands of fate.
Hell yeah.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
I want to help with that. I want to, because I also can do skywrite. I
Mm.
want to skywrite on either side of that. The symbol of Hephaestus and the symbol of Apollo on the opposite side.
You got
Can I
it.
just lightning bolt through the center?
We're back.
My path gave
And with all of that, it seems like the red light of Artemis shines in such a way to make this skywrite glow in the night sky. A message has been sent The Age of Darkness may only last a year, but the fight is far from over.
Before we like end this, can we get everybody can like those of us who are doing Skyride, can we just grab everybody and pull everybody together
Sure.
to look up towards it, kind of like hopeful for the future of what's gonna come? And I'm just gonna under my breath whisper, "We did it, Mom.
You
We'll get
got it.
everything back."
Well, now I have a drop.
And that is where we will end tonight's session. I apologize for the audio only portion of this show. But at least when it was audio only, the video didn't break. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it'll be fixed for next week. I apologize. But we will be back next Monday with the continuation of this. What happens now? It's anyone's guess. But there's a long list of allies, a long list of enemies, and a long list of things to do. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. This episode will be up on YouTube on Saturday, and we will be back next Monday, same time, same place. We'll see you then. Bye.